How are we doing? We are live. Continuing the pursuit of buying one of every limited card. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum. Today we get the NepentheZ. We are super close to finishing Croatian League, Austrian League, SPFL, not really, but I'll say it anyway. Liga Portugal. Find me here. Twitch.tv. I'm just saying this for you guys so that you know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? /NepentheZ. And then my hello friends. Then my YouTuber account. Which is here. Sorare. Hashtag Sorare27. Post. Hello everybody. C8 Star. Thank you very much for the sub, brother. Much appreciado. That was the first thing in the whole thing. On the whole thing. How are we, guys? Icy Ice, what's up, brother? Serge, how you doing, man? Jammy Dodger, what's up, my man? Dylan, hello, friend. Vishnav, always first in, brother. Thank you very much. Nath, thank you for being here. What's up? Matthew Dory, how you doing, man? Football Edit Scoop, how you doing, man? Yeet Boys, how you doing, pal? Jappy, what? Oh, is that Japanese Evo for life? Are you Japanese, Jap Evo? Morning, Nep. Hope you had a good weekend. What day is it? Do you know what's mad? Whenever the kids are on like school holidays, the days of the week just become all the same. Nothing changes. I have been watching the RTG since 2016. Thanks, man. Rick, what's up, man? SLDRDL37. How you doing, bro? Rowan, how's it? Yeah, you need to bring a good grind. I'm on a full trade pile of dupe storage, and I always put it, yeah, you and me both. Would you buy a poor La Liga Portugal team to farm first level? There was an interesting thought process I had the other day. I'm drowning. Oh, that's as high as it goes. Never mind. Bring it back down. Here we go. All right, we're in. There was... Yo, what's up, Darren? How you doing, man? There was an interesting thought I had the other day of how far could you get if you had, let's say, two, not SPFL, but like a competition that has cash at stage 2. How far could you get if you had two clubs and you could effectively attempt 1, 2... And what you would need is you'd need other players to like effectively kill the third stage because you don't want to play it. You want to make sure that you get back to the first stage. What could you achieve if you could go 1, 2, reset, 1, 2, reset, 1, 2, reset, knowing starting lineups with lower tier teams, 320, 360, 1, 2, reset. Obviously, you're not going to hit every single time. But yeah, I was thinking about that last night. I was thinking to myself, like, how far could somebody, like, what could somebody achieve? How much would it cost to get the bottom feeder teams, 2 or 3 or 4 of them? And then even if you could like look to run 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or like 1, 2 dead, 1, 2 dead, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 dead, 1, 2 dead, 1, 2, 3. Like, it's a really fascinating prospect. Prices just seem to keep rising at the minute. Yeah, it is. I put in, I'll show you my market page right now. I put in a lot of bids. Oh, it's nearly expired, actually. I put in a lot of bids. I've missed out on almost all of them. And yeah, cards just keep going up in price. Can you reset immediately? There is a reset option. Like if I click on it now, can I reset? There was a reset option. Where was it? Was it in here? Restart board. Okay, yeah, you can. So you don't even need to buy extra cards. So you can effectively do 1, 2, 1, 2, restart, 1, 2, restart, 1, 2, restart. Surely the highest is $3 every game week if you're only running 2 teams. Yeah, but the purpose was like the theory craft was that you're running off of the cheapest possible 2 teams. And you don't need the full team, you just need the starting players or whatever. You could easily spend 20 or 30 quid. And yeah, and then but see, the thing is, that's what I mean, SLDRD, right? If you spend 20 or 30 quid getting those 2 teams together and your income potential is $120 plus the essence, you've got a lot. First of all, you've got a lot of room for error for return on investment, 100% return on investment. And second of all, you've got the higher ceiling of, hitting an absolute banger from crafts and making like a whopping portion back. And then if you extrapolate that over like 6, 7 or 8 leagues, you could effectively look at 200 to 300 investment for like 1,200 to 1,500 back plus essence. $225 times 38 is 85. Yeah, it's not something that I would like, it's not going to change someone's world. But what I've come to learn actually over the last couple of days of me doing this process that I'm doing, what I've come to learn is a lot of people have like really want to get involved and have like proper low budgets. We're talking like 10 or 20 pounds, 20 or 30 pounds. But they want to get involved because they enjoy the concept, they enjoy the process, they enjoy the game, like they enjoy the sport, whatever the case may be. And off the back of that, it's like, yeah, it's very possible, like for the SPFL or for any of like the kind of leagues that have got real minnows, it's possible. I'm not saying it's smart. I'm not saying it would happen. I'm not saying it's 100% effective. And also like there's that kind of other angle to look at is if it starts succeeding, then guess what happens to the price of the players on those bottom feeder teams? They just creep, don't they? Even if a player that was £1.70 becomes £2.70, all of a sudden that's a huge like chunk off of your ROI. Yo, what's up, the Murphy? How you doing, man? Is there any benefit to playing rare streaks? Yeah, I think once you get to the higher versions, it's probably better. Yeah. Net, what are you expecting from Erdegaard this year? Kind of a mixed season last year. Good spot to buy or no? Well, I mean, we've still got like, 2 weeks before the Prem cards are out. I wouldn't be buying any Prem cards right now before transfers are done and things like that. Like, we've got a lot of luxury of time with the Prem, so I wouldn't be too focused on it. The SPFL and Championship had essence for the first 2, so you can get 3k essence every 2 games and build into the better stuff or sell them. Yeah, it's not a bad idea either, for sure. Genuinely considering doing this with Championship, not the highest scoring league anyway, so it'd be a struggle to hit the top tiers no matter the team. Yeah, that's fair. Find out when you upload and how to begin Sorare video. So I've recorded it. It just needs to go through the editing with Josh. And then if we need to make any adjustments to either correct some errors, add some extra information in, or remove some extra information, we'll do it then. So like realistically, what day is it today? Monday. Probably realistically looking at Wednesday. I was down to only play set, but I've got $100 credit sat there, so may match it and look for a way to play pro for fun this year. So for me, guys, I've spent now £2,000 and I have nearly completed SPFL, Liga NOS, Croatian League and Austrian Bundesliga. And I've bought players I don't need, don't want, won't use, but all in the pursuit of owning one of everything. I genuinely think, like, if you've got $100 market credit, it's a $100 matched amount. I genuinely believe for $200, you can be quite deep. I think you could be deep enough in one competition to look to hit the early and mid streaks quite regularly. Or I think you could be deep enough in 2 or 3 competitions to look to hit the early streaks regularly. So depending on what you want out of it, like I don't think there's, I think the entry cost right now is so good that it is literally why the prices are creeping. Because I think people are looking at these prices thinking, Jesus, yeah, okay, I get it, right? Like the second stage is only $6 in the Liga NOS, the third stage is only $10. But with anytime entry, I would be surprised if I didn't hit that $1,000 in the Portuguese league once or twice this season. Genuinely. Like, if I have every player in the whole league, I'd be very surprised if I didn't hit it once or twice this season. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I'm going to hit it 8 to 10 times and I'm going to be like robbing Sorare dry. But I think people are seeing like these super players going for £20, £18, £12, like top tier goalkeepers going for like £22. And they're starting to think, oh, I want to get involved. It's a good spot. Is Essence not flavored? Yeah, it is. It is, yeah. If you're playing with a small budget, a big tip is to sell when your player goes up. Last year, for instance, Elliot Watt went from 250 to 25. Sell and reinvest. It helps massively. Oh, hell yeah. Would work even better with Championship because of the amount of games. Yeah, it would. But like as we discussed yesterday, I think a lot of the games are on at the same time. I think you get about 3 or 4 windows per game week to move up. Do you think it's better to wait for claiming the rewards from the missions? Well, so I can't even claim mine right now, to be fair. I could with the... I can actually claim these because I did in my video earlier. I spent some crafting clues to show how crafting was working. I don't know if I've still got any crafting clue space. 40, 40, 26 and 50. I don't know which one's which. That's competition clue, isn't it? That's probably me over the top now. For SPFL, however, or for this one, I can claim. Oh, I can claim the XP. Oh, I'm very high on XP now. I'm very high on XP, but I cannot claim the player. There's no rewards players yet, so I can't claim the players. So I think once you get to the players, you're just going to struggle. I'm getting very high on the XP. That's annoying. Diogo Costa is now going for more than a 1 of 1,000. And, like, I do get it. I also do think that his price will come back down. And the reason why I believe that is because people are FOMOing right now. There's nothing to do. There's no lineups out. There's no rewards to play for. There's no games to play for. Like, do I think I should have probably bought him here at 74? Yeah. Do I want to buy him at 134? Definitely not. Do I think his price will come back down into this region once like the leagues are underway and rewards are coming out and stuff? Yeah. Yeah, I expect he'll drop. And that's like, so the thing that I'm working on now is trying to get players I don't have at a good price. And if I can't, I'm more than happy. I can actually do some spins now because I've got loads of space left on some clues. Yeah, I'm more than happy to just wait, right? So long as I've got entry points in for all of those first... oh, no, not XP. Oh, no, not XP. So long as I've got entry points in for all of those first, like, games, I'm happy to wait until after the first game week. No, not more clues. Don't say it. Don't do it. I think my clues are like stacked right back up now. 47, 50 and 50, yeah. No more things for us. And I'm looking forward to Eredivisie. I think I'm going to pick up a few teams. Hell yeah, what are you thinking about, Apple? Loads have market credits at the moment, so paying over the odds. Yeah, that is true. I'll show you where I'm at with my collections. Some of them still need a bit of work, but some of them are almost done. And if they're not almost done, the only players that I'm missing are players that I don't care about or don't want right yet. Some of these teams I have finished. It doesn't say that I finished them, but I have finished. So Zagreb, I just need this guy, but he's not on the market. I guess he's left. Slaven, we've got this goalkeeper who's not there, and this guy who's not there. Otherwise, we're finished. For Hajduk, this guy's not there. This guy's not there. And this guy's not there, so they're finished. Gorica, he's not there, even though that guy's got him listed. There's no more on the market. This guy is there. So we can put a bid in. This is only 5 out of 1,000. He must be a new signing. So we could pick him up. And then this guy, yeah, he's there as well. 368. We can go 2 ticks on him. 1, 2. There we go. Maybe we'll finish Gorica right here. NEC looked good again this year. They signed Tadic. Yeah, I saw that. Beginner's guide video will be up today or tomorrow at the very latest Wednesday. Duran was selling for 45 a couple of days ago. Now he's up towards 80. That could be because he's having a good preseason. Mormon scored on his Motherwell debut and has gone from 2.5-ish to £10. So I think our season is also... Yeah. Preseason is definitely affecting things. Pasir left to Poland. Wait, so he left and then he's been given a card. His first mints are here, even though he's left. That's interesting. Yeah, then for here, that's... Can't buy him. Can't buy him. He's not there. They're done. For here, can get him. He's... Oh, hold on. There's another... Have I got already a bid on him? No, he's got £6 with 2 hours left. And 2... Okay, so we're starting to get more mints. That's good. The Red Husky, thank you very much for the 3 months, man. Not being able to set multiple lineups a day sucks right now. I miss football and it's only been a week. Yep. It's coming, though. It's coming. Ajax about to sign a Rockadere from Wolves as well. We could do 1 tick or 2 on him. Majtorovic. 1, 2. Won't do more than that. This guy here, £7.7. Yeah, we can hit him. I hope they do not split up the leagues for next set. I see the contrary for me. I hope they do. We could do 1 tick on him, no more. All right, that's them basically done anyway. Varazdin. Yeah, see, they're starting to list more now. The prices should come down with like multiple listings. Thoughts on a Vinny Jr. links with Arsenal? Don't. I can't. I can't have, like, imagine if we signed Bruno Guimaraes, Vinicius Jr. and Julian Alvarez. I wouldn't be able to contain myself. They have no cards. They're done. He doesn't have a card. He's got one. See, look, his price has come down a bit for £4.12 there. Oh. They will go up for a bit if you promote this method, I'd imagine. What do you mean? This is like what I'm doing here isn't like new. Like, is this not like I started this today? I've been doing this for like 4 days now. See, I want to get him around like the 23, 24 mark. Been outbid on that one. Let's see if we can get that one. He's been pretty steady, hasn't moved up. Arsenal preparing to make a bid today, apparently. That's crazy, man. SPFL went from 300 to 500 listings, which will help. Yeah, it will. Misic. See, I don't want to pay 40 when he was down at 30. I don't mind paying like 35 or whatever, but both of these ones are already at 40. And then we've got Belkio. If we can get him under 50, would be good. Not this time around, maybe next time around. And then Liska. We need to get him around the 6 to 7 mark. Let's put one on this one. And then last but not least, Rudez. I've got all the players here. I can't get any more. So I'm probably missing from the Croatian League genuinely about like 8 to 10 players. I don't know about the other leagues, but Portuguese cards had a serious price spike. Any idea what the mechanism behind that? What my only line of thinking, Don, is that there's been no new league released for a good few days. the card auction slowed down over the weekend, and the Portuguese league has the best rewards on offer from the ones that you can see there. Like they didn't have, when you go to play now, a couple of days ago they only had SPFL. Now they've got SPFL Contender and Portuguese league, so now you can see that. Oh damn, first game. Oh, I could get there. I could win like $16 back after these first couple of games. Then could be going for the $50 here. Holy crap! Then could be going for the $300 here. And then Porto against, could win the $3,000. Oh, buy cards. I'm going to win $3,000. He's only 50 quid. That's profit. And I think that's what people are going for. I think Portuguese league, there aren't loads of mids either. So people have realised the midfielders are worth more. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's where you just use classics though, isn't it? That's what happens in my head for these people anyway. So yeah, my Croatian league is almost done. Almost done. For the Austrian Bundesliga, we're missing heavy on like 3 teams, and the rest of the teams are almost done. Salzburg haven't even started yet. Austrian listener, they are done. They are complete. Gymnatic Reed, should I say? Austria Vienna. We're missing this Donny, who I want to get like the £3 mark. I don't want to be paying, like, whoever's paying like that £5 spot, like, what an idiot. Do you know what I mean? We don't mind going to that £3 sort of region here. Click one more tick. Yeah, won't go higher than that. So we'll try it on this one. Yeah, won't go higher than that. Then we got this guy, Fisher. See, him I don't really want to buy because he was in the trenches here. And he's had a bit more of a spike, and I've got almost the whole team anyway. Like, I'm not desperate for him. I'll wait. Him, if we can get him under £4, will be good. Can't. Never mind. And then Eggy Steen. We need to be picking up probably around that £10 mark. There we go. We're winning that one. Any crafting today? Nah, not anymore. I won't craft now until the rewards are out. Why is the main reason we want to buy all limited? Do you think the streaks are overpowered? I do think streaks are overpowered. I think it's a fun strategy. I'm somebody who works better with a clearer mind. And if I just bought the players that I thought I needed, like I did last year, and somebody gets injured or somebody else starts popping off and I need a new player or I don't have the players popping off, I look at the price points of, oh man, I paid 200 for him and now he's only worth 20. I'm just going to persevere with him. Or I'll look at the guy that I could have paid 24 and he's now 200 and I think, yeah, I'm not buying that now. And so I just feel like if I just have one of everything, there will not be a game that I cannot engage in throughout the course of the whole season in any competition in season. Anything. Conference League, Champions League, internationals. I will have everything. And I just think that gives me a huge advantage. Yes, it's going to be costly to get there. We're going to make mistakes, of course, along the way, which we're hopefully going to learn from. But I'd like to hope that I'd be able to yield back significantly more than what I'm spending. Only time will tell on that one, though. Are you buying every limited for Premier 2? Yep, every limited from every team in every league that is Sorare 27. I'm not going for that. Wait, when you say one of everything, do you literally mean one of every single card that will be minted this year, all leagues? Yeah. It'll be like set on steroids. That's exactly it. Right? I did like some of this kind of idea, at least some of the kind of confidence to push through with it was just seeing people on set have such great opportunities. Like imagine, for the sake of argument, imagine I get to like this 5th streak here and the third game week for the Portuguese league, right? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, I get to the last streak for the last game week. And then, let's get the Liga Portugal, round 3. Then we get, I don't know if they'll have Braga, but we get Porto against Arouca. Okay, I wouldn't do it on this game week. Let's say we get there. Let's say we use these 5 p.m. kickoffs to beat the 5th streak or the 4th streak, because we've got Porto against Arauca, Benfica against Moreirense, Sporting against Alverca, and we're like, yeah, cool, those points tallies were easy. Then for round 4, we're on the last one. Wait, are these, okay, have they not had their scheduling set yet? The times aren't set. Okay, so let's go back to round 3 then. Easy game, easy game, easy game. If knowing who starts and having 3 lives to stack and then 1 live to split, I just feel like I'd be like, man, I got a great chance here. You know what I mean? If I'm not able to hit top streak for a handful of these leagues over the course of the entire season, when I own every single card, I'm such a dead manager, man. At that point, I just need to hang it up, you know? So big reason is no time limit on the game weeks, as in a deadline. Yeah, so the deadlines are like, assuming that we obviously hit the A streak during the game week, we get until the following game week to kind of work on it. So that will be the aim in that regard. I don't want to put too much on this guy. How the hell are you going to go stay on top of it, though? Mate, who the bloody hell knows? That is the real issue. Like, for example, I'm going to be going away at the end of August for a week with the kids and the wife before they go back to school. There's no chance. There's no chance I'm going to be able to stay on top of things. Are you going to double up on any players? I don't think so. No, I've got so many classics that I don't think I'd need to. Have you seen FC27 pre-orders are outselling GTA 6? I just think that's because GTA 6 isn't here for like another 3 months and FC is here in like 5 weeks. I think you'll see GTA 6 pre-orders start ramping up the couple of weeks before the game. Hoffman. Are you buying Eredivisie today? We'll see where the price points are. Possibly, yeah. Heedle, I did have a bid on him. See, I don't know with him if I'm happy to overpay a little bit, because the worst thing you want is for him to go shoot up to like 40, 50 quid. And then I'm sitting here being like, God damn, now I haven't got him. I don't want to pay more than that. Serge Philippe Raoult. A lot of auctions, like we're starting to get double auctions now on all of these players though. So I think I'm reasonably content to kind of see if the price points come down, especially when the Eredivisie mints come out. How much do you think it will cost in total to buy everyone? I have no idea. It just depends on the price points of the top 4 leagues. So far, I've nearly bought all 4 of these leagues for about 2,000. It'll probably cost me about another 500 to 800, somewhere along that region, to complete these ones. So if I had to kind of like really think, okay, how much is it going to cost for all of the minor leagues? We're probably looking at around maybe like 7,000 to 8,000. To do all the major leagues, probably at least double. So I'd say it's going to be somewhere in the region of 20 to 25,000, somewhere around there. You're going to put teams into leaderboards from games you know you won't target? Yep, sure will. What's the benefits of taking the part in the top 4 leagues opposed to just sticking to the smaller leagues? Is the payouts different? Yeah, the payouts are way bigger, and then obviously you've also got Champions League players, Europa League players, like the best players. Like whenever the European games, or sorry, international games kick in, you've literally got everyone, so you can play everyone. What player was I up to? Zvekvic winning, Bola winning, him outbid, Amane. See, I am, as I say, I don't want to do too much right now, because if they start throwing up second 2, 3, 4 mints all at once, these player prices will start, slowly but surely moving down, because there's just not as much competition for the spots. Like this guy here, I just don't want to buy him. Like the fact that it was £13, even if I got him at £20, they're still like £7 more. Am I going to do super rare? No, not this season. Peter Nosodal. What a great name. They are like 4 hours on the mints though. It's going to take ages to know if I've got them or not. Do you think people still have credits? Yeah, I mean, some people would be smart on their credits. Some people wouldn't be. That's for sure. I've already used all of my credits, but I'm sure people are saving them for like the leagues that they actually care about. Whippa. Not paying more than that for him. So Wimmer. See, he's already on the little down trend there. Are you tracking spin rewards? Well, no, not really. I'm more just like my aim this season, and this again is why, first and foremost, I'm not planning to buy any rares. Well, I will plan to buy some rares, but I will not plan to hold on to rares. I plan to buy and then sell the rares. And it's also why I'm not going to touch super rare this time around. My idea is knowing exactly how much cash I've spent, and then knowing exactly how much cash I've got at the end. So, if I end up spending, let's say for the sake of argument, bang on £25,000, those spins, if I make back £500 from them, they're just part of it, If I make a few thousand back off of rewards, and I go and buy a rare to put in, and then I sell it, and he earns me some more money or costs me some more money, it's just going to be part of it, basically. What are we at? Agumang. Put one bid on here. XP underrated spin reward, I'd imagine, early on. So I'm nearly at the limit for XP, though. So I need to start isolating the players that I actually want to put my XP on. Otherwise, I'm going to hit the 50,000 cap, which would not be very good. Does that mean you're planning to sell at the end of the season? No, I plan to keep them all. The idea is to use them and to make as much back as I can. In the time of use, and then just have the cards at the end, and just have the whole collection. And then listen, like obviously the dream is, right? Well, the dream is like we spend 20, 25 grand and we win 100k plus over the course of the season. That would be like absolutely banging, wouldn't it? But the kind of like the first goal, the first kind of objective is to win back the amount that we spent, so that we could do it again next year. Like, that's the plan. Let's do this again. Let's run it up for Sorare 28. Yeah, why has he gone up so much? Hodl. think you should be adding the XP straight away. Yeah, but it's about adding it to the right players, right? There's no point me adding it to these players that aren't going to get any game time. I need to add it to players that I'm actually going to be using in the teams. Who's that? You're taking a different approach this year. What's your approach this year? Yeah, so I started, basically I had £8,200 in my wallet at the start of buying Sorare 27 cards. Instead of buying at the beginning, I'm planning on joining mid-August. See, I think that's like honestly one of the best things to do. When you look at the price trends, not even August, I'd say like after the first, maybe after the second international break, you could spend a fraction of what other people spend, and you'd know what players are playing well, what players are like in the team, what players have transferred out. Like you'd have the full kind of complement of transfers and stuff. Like, yes, you'd miss out on the 2x, 3x rewards. You might miss out on some market opportunities as well. But you would save far more by not getting involved than you would reasonably potentially win by getting involved earlier. The only thing I would say, like, for this time around, though, is that we just, like, the market is just going to be so significantly different this time due to the fact that anytime entry exists. The Wales got 700 euros credits. Did they actually? That's crazy. I'll use my credits to buy backup goalkeepers and hope to flip them when they get to play. Yeah, that's a smart process. All right, so yeah, Austrian League and Croatian League. Croatian League, I've basically done it. I'm like about 10 cards short. Bundesliga, I'm probably, other than Salzburg and then a couple of little bits needed here and here, I'm probably about 10 cards short as well. So I'm probably about like 50 cards short altogether on the Austrian League. The SPFL, I've got some depth there. Haven't started on Celtic and Rangers yet, but we can work through these now. We've got some of them that we're working on, but we're a bit shy. But I'm shy on a lot of like cheap players, and I just wasn't happy to buy them because their prices, like, instead of being £1.70 or £2.20, their price points were up at like the £3 mark, and it's like, damn, man, like, people are fighting for these guys that aren't going to play. Are you planning on sell players if they spike when they unexpectedly start? No, I don't think so, because I'll probably use them. Is there a reason you're skipping Salzburg so far? They're just too expensive. Like I say, similar to Celtic and Rangers and some of the other teams. Even the guys that will not play aren't £1.70. They're like £3 or £4 because people are trying to boost their collection scores, and like, you know, things like that. So yeah, I don't mind waiting, because if I've got all of the other 8 teams, I can still play through those early stages over the first few game weeks, even if I don't have Celtic and Rangers. People will also be spending more money on the shitters for the wheel spins. No, I don't think so, because I've got far too many players at that budget price, at that literal bottom price over the last couple of days. It's only been like kind of today and yesterday where even the bottom feeder cards have gone 2 or 3 ticks above the base rather than 1 or 2 ticks. And, you know, it doesn't sound like much when you're saying, oh, it's instead of £2.20, it's £2.60, or instead of £2.60, it's £3. But when you're buying like thousands of players, even at 50p extra per player, you're looking at like hundreds, if not thousands of pounds. That's 400 at 1,000 players. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like all of a sudden it adds up significantly. And like, so again, so long as I've got a good bank of players to start the league with, as long as I can field teams across those first few weeks, I'm in no rush to get these sort of players. I have a feeling they'll be way cheaper when push comes to shove. If I'm wrong, then I'll bite the bullet then. If I'm right, I'll make, I'll do a bit better. And some of the players will be more expensive than I could have got them for, but some will be less expensive, and it'll probably even itself out somewhere along the way. Yeah, Aberdeen, what, like, have they got European football? No, they haven't, have they? I was a bit surprised that Aberdeen were quite expensive. Imagine how much Veerman will be today. I don't think he'll be crazy amount because he's got some jeopardy of transfers. Like, he could leave. So both of these goalkeepers are expensive because one of them is expected to transfer outright. This Mitov is going to be leaving. Is that correct? So did Maeda. Yeah, I think people are just stupid on Maeda. Mitov is expected to leave, yeah. What are we saying here? Like 12 to 13. Gods will be expensive. Yeah, isn't he expected to transfer out as well? He was like linked to Arsenal earlier on in the season. Please be £2.7. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Who was that? Molloy. Shaq Milan. Lewis Smith, he was going for £6 or £7. 6? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do you think people went mad on Maeda to help with the Star and Icon collection? Yeah, that is possible. That is possible. Our last tick here. Gucci. That was Lewis Smith. I don't really want to pay much more than £7 for this guy. If his going rate before was down in the kind of high 6s to 7s. Who was that? Yogane. Connor Ronayne. I'm not bidding on him. We can do one tick on him, not that one though. It'd be this one. Oh, it's not asking me to unlock my wallet every time this time. Stuart Armstrong. Better than Stuart Arm Week. Am I right, guys? That wasn't funny. Thoughts on Vault after one season? Yeah, I'm like disappointed in the way that they have kind of changed the, like, moved the goalpost with the Vault. I think because they've changed things, like they never let us know last year that this year the Vault is going to be even more expensive to maintain, and it's something that if you want to keep it at 20%, that you're literally going to have to keep maintaining, and it's something you're going to have to keep investing into. I don't like that, Like, I get it from their perspective. I get why they're doing it, because if otherwise people are just going to find their way to 20% and then take 20% on rewards for the rest of eternity without filling up the Vault again. I just think there has to be a better way. I think there has to be a better way. And so, yeah, I think because they've changed so dramatically and split leaderboard from streaks as well, which has hurt people that were playing leaderboard streaks and then taken advantage of the Vault also, I think they should offer everybody the opportunity to, like, remove, maybe not every card, maybe not like the full red button, but at least, like, 10 cards a day for a month. Could another strategy be buying the top 4 teams in each league if you have a smaller budget? I think a smaller budget wouldn't be good for buying top 4 teams in each league. I think you'd get way more out of buying, like, the lower rated teams. Can you explain the changes for the vault? So basically now, like, limited hasn't changed so far this season in explicit terms, but for rare, your cards are going to have less value. Like you're going to have get more points to get it back to 20%. So let's say it cost 10,000 points to get it to 20%. Now it's going to cost 15,000 points. So if you had 10,000 points and 20%, you're going to have to submit another 5,000 points worth of players to get it back up to 20%. But the other thing is, like I say, like because they've removed streaks and leaderboards from being combined, you used to be able to put a team in for the leaderboard, get 20% bonus on that reward, and then if it hit the streak, get the streak as well. And now you can't. Now if you put it in the leaderboard, you can get the 20% bonus off the leaderboard, but you can't get any streaks with it. And if you put it in streaks, you don't get a bonus. Like the bonus doesn't exist. So it's one of those ones where it's like, I think there's a good spot for something like a vault, but I think it should be more league specific and club specific, dedicated to boosting rewards from players and teams and leagues across the board, rather than boosting your overall sort of your overall sort of global rewards ultimately. He's a number one. Eden Doherty. I'm second in All-Star Rare this week. Do you know if the new cards are going into the pool? I don't think so. I would be surprised if they were. Okay, so this guy we can pick up for nothing. Surely a lot of these cards that don't play will be down at £1 in a matter of weeks. Not for first owner, no. For first owner, their minimum price is £1.70. Can you change your lineup within a game week? For example, Esther will play opening day in Portugal. If players within that game perform poor, can I submit a team for the Saturday on other games? In streaks, you can. In the pro mode, yeah, but not in the regular leaderboards. No. If your team is stinking, then you're just stinking, and that's why you got to be a thinker and not a stinker. Do you sell cards? No. I will keep them all. I could probably certainly get a lot of these players cheaper. Like this guy, for example, this Gogic guy, you know, he's whatever, £3 now. He'll probably be £1.70 expiring for nothing in 2 or 3 weeks. But also at the same time, like if I want to complete the collection missions and such, then to get the star cards and stuff, they're also going to have more value now than they are later on down the line as well. So I think, like, I feel like so long as I feel like I'm not kind of like dramatically overpaying for cards, I'm content to kind of spend the money. If I feel like I'm dramatically overpaying for a card, I'll just let it go and try again another time. And then some cards, like, you know, there's just some teams right now that just don't like the prices of, like Celtic and Rangers. I just don't like the price points of Celtic and Rangers. Eventually I'm going to have to buy them, and you know, there's that consideration that the longer I wait, the higher they go. There will be a tipping point where eventually they'll go down in price, but at what cost again? Is that going to be at the cost of missing out on some very cool streaks and some very cool rewards, or is that going to be, or am I going to like time it right? You know, am I going to have to overpay for these cards and then still miss the streaks and stuff? Like there's a little bit of like nuanced strategy to when to buy the cards, but I feel like for the most part, I just want to bring them all in as much as I can and then start picking off the extras that I don't have over the time. Eredivisie is out. It is. Oh, it's crazy. Didn't mean price used to be like 70p. Yeah, they upped it to, like, I guess because, you know, if they raise the floor, people end up spending more, don't they? When we will be able to craft cards from the Contender League? After the first match day is done. After the first match day is completely done. Not like the first match or whatever, but the actual first, after the rewards have kind of like been divvied out. Divvied out. That'll be when. I'll do 2 ticks on him if it's up. Otherwise, I'll wait again. Asked earlier and might have missed your answer, but how do you complete the collection missions if players are not on the market anymore? You can't. You just got to wait for them to remove those players from the missions so that then you'll have them done. So for me, like with the Croatian League, I'm missing about 10 players altogether. Once I've got those 10 players, I've got everyone, yet I'm still about 30 players short of completing the collections. So it's just, I've just kind of got to wait for Sorare to make the adjustments. I think for the Eredivisie, when do those first cards expire? Because what I'll try and do for those is I'll just sit there and watch towards the end, and if there's anyone that's only got 0 or 1 bids on, I'll probably just like chuck a bid on and try and bank out as many of as I can early. But because they're all one-offs, I can't imagine that they're going to go for too cheap. See, this guy's gone from like £5 all the way up now to almost 10 quid. He's doubled in price. Is he one of those guys that's just had a good preseason, and so people are like, oh my god, he's going to be sick? 3 hours, so about 4 o'clock, 4:10. Okay, I won't be around on stream still by then. I'm gonna have to head off at about 3 o'clock today. He's up at £20 for this GK. We'll just put like a 20 max bid on, and if we can get him, we can. If we can't, I'm happy to wait again. This guy, see, that's interesting, isn't it? They've got the buy now. They've got insta buys on. Oh no, they haven't. These are all. Oh, he's stopped being minted. Has he transferred out? That's annoying that I haven't got him if he has. In a little under 3 hours. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Robbie Dees. Dees nuts. Ha. See, these guys are like 4 hours away yet. I'm going to have to wait bloody ages for some of these. Can you craft the Eredivisie now? No. No, you cannot. The only players that are in craft right now are MLS and K-League. Nothing else. And that won't change until next Tuesday. Mark O'Hara. How volatile are player prices typically between game weeks? So it's like it's hard to say for this year because with any time entry, it's going to be way different. Last year, like yes, like it could be quite volatile. It wasn't always, but it could be. But now, yeah, with any time entry, I think it just changes things so massively. Shibola. I'll just do 1 bid on him because if I do get him, great, and if I don't, I'll get a ticket. So him I'll wait on. Are you going to play only stacks on streaks? Feel like stacking will be huge bait. Not only stacks. I will play a lot of stacks for sure. But it won't be only stacks. Let's just do like 20 on him as well. And if he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, too bad. Give me the ticket. Next Tuesday will just be SPFL in crafts. Well, if they're the only league to have played this weekend. But I'm pretty sure there's more leagues playing this weekend, isn't there? Yeah, the Austrian Bundesliga is playing, so Austrian Bundesliga cards will be in there as well. That might be it though. Croatia, Austria, and Scotland. Yeah, there you go. So those will be the ones that are in. Right, Kilmarnock done. Motherwell. Do a little booster on this guy. It has been a long process doing this, guys. It has. And maybe I'm here in 2-3 weeks going, what the hell have I done? But in this very moment, I'm just loving this. Like, yeah, it's taken ages, but we still got so much fun to come. Like, the wheel spins are going to be great fun. You know, building those first lineups, hitting those first streaks, it's going to be great fun. Like, could I probably have done it more efficiently? Yes, but would that have actually been more efficient for time? Maybe, maybe not. You know what they say, don't you? Time is money. Would you save essence until the big leagues are out? Some I will, some I won't. It'll just be, I'll just play it by ear, you know. Because it's all all-star essence that I'll have, there'll definitely be some value in saving it all for sure. Paul McGinn. We'll do up to like £8 or £9 on this guy. But I reckon he'll come back down again. There we go. It's our one-off for Alex Lowry. It is. You're planning on doing a video on spins? Yeah, I'll do them on stream as well. But yeah, I will make a video on it. I'll probably do like one video of 500 spins, one video of 1,000 spins, one video of like 1,500 spins, something like that. Who was that I just put on? Sparrow. Fadinja goes to like 16. What? One more. Bosch. One bid here. If we don't get this, we'll bid the same on the other guy. Ezekiel will be a baller this season for Feyenoord. Ezekiel. Wait, has Elijah just left? Because no auctions for him is very strange. And that looks like no auctions for a while as well. No auctions since 3 days ago. Just gone to Swansea. Okay. Is that why this guy then has kind of picked up in price? Because he's likely to maybe fill some boots. Move to Swansea. What do we got? Maswaniche. He scored some good goals last season. He scored loads of goals for me in like my streaks. What are we at like for him? Like 15. Charles Cook. Let Charles cook, baby. Let Charles cook. Which team is this? This is Motherwell. I feel like his price has maybe like increased a bit as well. If Just has left, I guess a lot of the other attackers have just gone up in stock naturally. So we've got Hibbs and then Hearts and then Dundee. Hopefully I can get these Dundee players cheap now. Hopefully people aren't really fighting for them anymore, because they're going to be the team that I expect to take me through the first streak, not Rangers. Dundee United. Yeah. She is fine, thanks. Yeah, I didn't say anything about your mother, and you know that. That's a terrible joke. You're not 11 years old, and if you are, get off of Twitch. You have to be 13 to use Twitch. Jack Walton. Is there a way to filter the lowest to highest scorers from last season? God, don't know about that. There probably is, but why would you want to know? Dundee to get 320 against Rangers is difficult with 4 Rangers and a Dundee keeper. I disagree. I will probably have a Rangers Classic in there anyway at rare. But yeah, I'll probably go for a goalkeeper, defender, and 2 midfielders from Dundee. And then either a Rangers Classic striker, or I'd have to go for a striker from Dundee. Dundee United, NepentheZ is not just Dundee as ours. Is the excitement building for the new season? It is, mate. It is. It is. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you miss Sorare data? Like, there are some things that Sorare data had that I still miss and don't have on Sorare. But I actually think Sorare has got a lot. Like, there's a lot of really, really nuanced stuff that I think people want that Sorare data might have had. But for the most part, Sorare does a stellar job of giving us what we want. How can he go from 7 up to 10? Who the bloody hell was overpaying for Zachary Sapsford? Are you planning on using this strategy for all leagues, including the top 4? Sure am. Need an 80 score captain and 4 with 47, all with just 5 XP, which obviously you don't have. So you're not. Are you taking into consideration like the 5% in-season bonus and the 5% collection bonus, and the fact that I'll have some of the players on like 2% XP as well? So I'll be getting 12% scoring bonus. Who was that? Eskeen. Is Will Ferry still expected to transfer? Top 4 leagues going to cost a ton. The bottom 4 leagues are costing a ton as well, to be fair. It's all costing a fair bit. See, this guy was £4 before. I don't want to be paying up there. Why is he... Who was it? Aguier. Is he expected to start or something? Jesse Randall. I'll pop a little Donny. Which I said, lol. An 80 score captain and 4 with 47, all with just 5% XP. Which obviously will have a lot more XP. Yeah, so then I don't need the things that you said then, do I? So it's kind of like just a bit of a... You've basically said all you need is these things, but you don't need these things because you'll have something different. So yeah, I'm not trying to fight with you about it. Either way, even just an 80 captain and 4 47s, 47 is barely over base score. Like, if one other player hits a 70, let's say a defender gets a last man tackle, and then the Rangers guy, let's say I've got Raskin in there, and he bags 80, 90 points, I only need in the 30s for the other players. Like, so yes, I to the original point, I expect to be able to hit the first score level with Dundee starters and 1 Rangers player. And if I'm wrong, guess what? The next day I just try again. That's the beautiful thing about Sorare 27, man. Obviously, if you played let's say you played a Rangers stack last year on that first one, you're like, let me hit that first streak. and Rangers tanked, or like you got a DMP start of the season. How could you have projected that guy wasn't going to start? You're done for the whole week. But the way it is now, I'm just done for the game. Dumb question. Why do you want every player? Can you use more than 5 per team in a game day? Yeah. You could use 5 per team up to 4 times because you get 4 entries in streaks. You could then put 4 entries into the arena, the leaderboard arena. You could then put more players in the classic arena and then more players in the classic arena. So there will be insane amounts of opportunities to utilize all of these players. Chances are Dundee United's goalie will probably score about 50 with his saves, and Rangers won't score 3 or 4. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, you know, like obviously it's all fantasy football. Everyone here is just banking on the thing that they think will happen. And in my mind, the Dundee keeper will hit reasonable score. Some defenders will get some clutch defensive actions. Just got to make sure I've got one of them that hits it. My Rangers classic will do well, and then the other 2 players just looking for some players that might get a bit of AA, maybe the set piece taker or something like that. Like it's not an impossible task. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it definitely going to happen? No. But I can't explain, guys. And like, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I cannot explain the fact that if I miss out on this first streak, on that first life, on the 8 p.m. game on Friday, I am fussed none, because Falkirk against St Mirren are playing at 3, and then Aberdeen against Hearts are playing at 5:30. And then on the Sunday, I've got St Johnstone at 2, and then Hibs at 4:30. And then on the Monday, I've got Celtic against Dundee. And like by here, I'd expect maybe to have picked up some Celtic players, depending on what stage of the streak I'm on. If I'm still down at 1 or 2 because it's been a rough Saturday and Sunday, I'll probably just use the Dundee players to try out those low streaks again. If, however, I'm up at like sort of 4 or above, yeah, I'll probably pick up the Celtic players to try and attack that streak. So yeah, this first lineup, that is not the lineup, by the way. That was for a video I made earlier. This first lineup to hit 320 points, it might go wrong. I just don't care anymore, because Anytime Entry has removed, like, I can't explain to you guys. Last year, right, I spent so much money on this game, and then in that first game week, I've already pre-put my PSG players in. Everyone's projected at 90% and 80% and stuff like that. I've done all my research. I put all my PSG players in that I've spent thousands of pounds on, and then Dembele doesn't start and Vitinha doesn't start. And maybe not them specifically, but do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, well, that's it. It's fucked now. The whole weekend is fucked. The leaderboard's fucked. The streak is fucked. I've lost a week's worth of utility out of all of my players. How frustrating is that? It just triggered me a lot how much I missed out on because I had to lock a team in that was playing on Monday night on Friday afternoon. How can we project 3 days ahead? It was just unreasonable. Now, I'll wait for the PSG lineup to come out. Guess what? I've got the starters. Happy days. I like it. I like it. Right, 2 more teams to work through here. Hearts of Midlothian. $21. Very interested to see how you could do a PSG with Anytime Entry this year. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. Everything. I'm really intrigued to see how all of it goes. I had numerous DMPs last season since Man United played so many games on Monday night and there was last-minute injuries. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Can you look at this game as simply fantasy football? That's kind of why I wanted to know average scores of players from last season from those mid to low teams, because in theory you could avoid your big expensive guys and somewhat compete. Yeah, people do that all the time, Grinchy. There's a lot of really good managers out there that are very good at extracting great value from players that are not expected to get great value. Is Swallow's leaving, right? So I don't want to buy him, right? Where's he going? He's going to be a bench warmer in the Bundesliga, isn't he? Mainz, yeah. So I won't be picking him up. Why is there no sales data on this guy when he's like got 40 cards sold? Who's going to go back to being a number one? I know Xander Clark was a number one, maybe not last season, but definitely the season before. I'm guessing it's going to be that McFarlane guy. Why wouldn't they just trust him in Europe now? I told myself I was going to stick to set this year, but after buying Aberdeen, Rangers, and Hibs, I'm hooked again. It's that Bo Royce guy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, why wouldn't they just use him then? Why would they keep Swallow? Why not just get rid? Why not just swallow their pride and get him gone? He should be number one at Mainz. I don't believe so. If he is, I'll buy him. I'll buy him then. Bo Reese is number one. But I thought Hearts. I thought I saw Quiddy talking about the fact that they've kept Swallow for the qualifiers and then they'll let him go. But if you've already got a number one, why not just let him go? How sad is that for you if you're the other goalkeeper, where you're like, oh man, like they don't trust me so much that they'd rather keep the guy that they've already sold for a couple of games? Have you thought about buying 2 PSG keepers or other top teams? I haven't, just because I already have so many classic cards and so many classic keepers. Like I have Chevalier and Safanov already classic, right? So if PSG have got like a banging lineup and I'm like, yeah, I want to run 2 PSG stacks, I could just use in-season keeper and then the classic keeper. And then I can use like an in-season Dembele and a classic Dembele. Spital. Oh my days, they've got so many players. Yeah, then PSG lose 1-0 and I'm sitting there like, oh bloody, why have I done this? Yeah. Guys, last year, around December last year, I was like really thinking about kind of slowing down FC massively and just focusing hard on Sorare. And I didn't do it for like a whole bunch of different reasons. But if the streams are going good during these early weeks before FC 27 comes out, I would gladly make Sorare content my main thing. I've been looking for Sorare content recently, and there's a few foreign, or let's not say foreign, because they're not foreign for themselves. There's a few non-English speakers that make reasonably regular Sorare content, but there is a whopping lack of Sorare content creators. Even the big guys, Quinny, Laird, Harry Trades, those guys, they don't upload regularly whatsoever. And that blows my mind, because there's a hunger for the content. Quinny is Scottish, can't say he's not English speaking. No, I didn't say he wasn't English. I said there are some non-English speakers that upload regularly, and then you've got the big guys, Quinny, Harry Trades, Laird, that don't upload regularly. We'll do one more on him. Would you rather have 12k FC points or 100 quid in the Sorare fund? Yeah, definitely 100 quid in the Sorare fund, mate. For me, that'd be for sure. That'd be for sure. Bo Royce joined on 17th. Oh, so he wasn't registered. Okay, that makes a lot more sense then. Claudio Braga. How was your father? I suppose Braga should be a bit of a better scorer this season, right? With Shanklin gone. Laird is American. Can't say he's not English speaking. Josh, I will punch you Right in the dick. Cabore. I need to go make a sandwich, I think, guys. You're calling HR? I am HR. I am everything. Do you know what's funny? We like one of Lauren's friends is actually like like she's a HR specialist, and she's like retained to the company for effectively nothing. But in all the years I have had staff, never had a HR issue ever, not once. How mad is that? I would think Braga leaves as soon as a team meets the 8 million. Oh, is that right? Where's he like expected to go? You'd be so wary of Braga. Listen, you got to take the rough with the smooth, right? If this Donny James Wilson gets picked up for £2, and then he ends up being their starting striker and firing in goals left, right, and centre, and becomes worth £40, but I bought Braga for £25 and he goes down to £10, I'm all right with that. Rangers, oh yeah, that'd be fine. And then it's just these Donnies here. Let me offer bids on all of these guys, and then we'll start looking at the Eredivisie stuff. What's up, Union Jack Boy? How you doing, man? Do you think no license in the Premier League is correlated with no casinos on jerseys this year? No, I wouldn't have thought so. I would love a Sorare series like Euro MFL Pack to Glory 20 Yeah, like I can do stuff like that with the segregated off leagues and stuff now. If I did ever become a full-time Sorare content creator, which I would love to do, but obviously, FC pays the bills. If I was ever able to kind of make that work, that's when I would start like factoring in some really cool content, stuff that, I can actually afford to put the time on into. At the moment, I don't quite have the luxury of time to do the things I would want to do. So is there no leagues anymore? It's just streaks? No, there's leagues as well, but they've separated streaks from the leagues now. Didn't Josh Campbell used to be on Arsenal's books? Do you still? No, so I wasn't allowed to use that second Sorare account anymore. I got told, honestly, about a month after I started it up, maybe 6 weeks after I started up, I got told I can't do it anymore. And I said, like the rules they gave me at the start were, I could use an account, I could put money into it, but I was not allowed to transfer cards or money out of it unless, I couldn't sell cards to myself, even if it was for fair market value. I could sell cards to the market, but I wasn't allowed to withdraw any money, and I wasn't even allowed to like sell up the cards that I had to get the money that I put in back out. And I was okay with that because the content would have been real cool. And then, yeah, at one point or another, I got told I am no longer enabled to use that account. So I said, hey, could I sell the things then and get like whatever I can get back for it, which would have still been at a huge loss. And unfortunately, I was not allowed. However, I did get permission this morning to create a new account to do some like beginner content on, which I have done. I don't think I'm entitled to actually use that account and to like create teams or buy players on it, but I'm able to use it to like create the beginner content. I want to bid on him. Is there an RTG vid today, Nip? No. Probably won't bring the RTG back now. I was going to do something about around Arsenal and stuff, but the game's just so dead. I think I'll make some content around maybe the Gauntlet that comes today or tomorrow. Make some content around the FC27 content when it comes, and show people how to get that like best and as quick as they can. Paslak. What's this guy? What's the one on? Let's pop one little. Obita. Do I have a beginner's video? Not yet. I recorded it this morning. So it's quite long, and it's going to take Josh a fair while to kind of pick through and tell me what I need to add and whatnot. So it's likely it'll be tomorrow or maybe even the day after before it's out. But it is coming. What's up, Southern Meadow? How you doing, man? Warden or Hoarder? Right, last few here. Grant Hanley. Grant. Grant is such an aggressive name, isn't it? Jason Kerr. Thank God he wasn't called Wayne. Some people are sitting there going, what the fuck? Why? Like, why would being called Wayne be a problem? This guy. Daniel Batts has left Mainz now, so Swallow should be number one. Was Batts even number one at Mainz? I don't even know who their goalkeeper was, mate, to be fair. He doesn't have one. That's it. They're all done. Now, obviously, I don't get all of these cards. Look at that. I've been outbid on Findlay. Some poor soul was definitely called Wayne Kerr. Somebody's at the door, guys. Oh, BRB. Guess who's back? Yeah, Wayne Kerr at the door. Couldn't believe it. So we've tackled off, guys, a lot. We now need to look into the Liga NOS. Bats was only number one because Zentner got injured. How big is my house, mate? It's tiny. I sold my house last year, my big house. Bought a little shed, invested all the proceeds into Sorare. What could go wrong? Portuguese league, right? I still got my Lambo. No, I sold that honestly like about what, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I got like, fun fact about my Lamborghini. I bought it just before COVID. It cost me £165,000. During COVID, the creation of the chips or something like that for Lamborghinis and for supercars in general had stopped because the factories all stopped. So the price of certain supercars just like skyrocketed. I had a chance to sell it. I bought it from a dealer. I had a chance to sell it back to literally Lamborghini. They wanted to buy my car back off me for like 190,000 or something, and I didn't, because in my head I was like, oh, it'd be worth 200,000, 250,000, 300,000. And then I eventually sold it back to the guy that I bought it from 4 years later for about 10 grand less than I bought it for. So I was like, damn, man. Like, okay, there was like the cost of the petrol, the cost of the, like I had to get new tires. One time I had to get windshield replaced because a stone had popped up off the road and like smacked into it and stuff. Like there was a cost of running the car for 4 years, but the actual like net loss was 10 grand. I was like, well, bang happy with that. Bang happy. And I got to drive a Lamborghini for 4 years, which was awesome. I will buy one back eventually. How you met up with A&I Skills since the collab videos you did with him? A couple of times, yeah. I've spoken to Skills a fair bit over the years, but I haven't seen Skills in years and years now. What car have I got now? I've got a Ford Mustang, but electric vehicle. Ornstein, Chelsea exploring move to sign Danny Welbeck from Brighton and Hove Albion. Jesus Christ. Limar. Who got the key to the bimmer? So this guy's a one tick kind of guy. Bring back Draftmas challenges. Wait, they were the days, weren't they? Dems were the days. Lucas Suarez. It's all right on the teams. He's a one-off. I don't want to pay for him yet. It's all right on the teams where I've already got loads of players because I'm only looking at like 3 or 4 or 5 players per team. But those teams where I've got like so many missing, it's an absolute ball ache to try and get through it. If Arsenal get the chance to buy Vinny J, would they also still get Bruno G? Yeah. So one of the in the nose, like serious in the nose, not like rage baiters on social media in the nose, but one of the in the nose posted yesterday that it's not Vinny J or Julian Alvarez, and people were typically being dumb in the comments going, ha ha ha, we knew Arsenal couldn't get either of those players. And I didn't read it as we're not getting Vinicius Jr. or Julian Alvarez. I read it as we're not getting Vinicius Jr. or Julian Alvarez, as in it's not one or the other. But the possibility is that it could be both. And then I started daydreaming. Could you imagine how good Arsenal would be if we signed Vinicius Jr., Julian Alvarez, and Bruno Guimaraes? Oh my days. Would that not be one of the best transfer windows in history? One question with this strategy: do you think you'll actually be able to submit every lineup during the weekend, given all the different game starts? How? Yeah, got like that. Do you know what? That was something I didn't even consider until we were talking about it yesterday, and I was like, I'd thought about it. Like I thought, okay, when I go on holiday at the end of August, I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to miss some. But like yesterday, for example, we took the kids out for Sunday roast to like one of the local pubs that does an absolutely banging roast, and it was out for 2 hours. And during that 2 hours, I didn't even take my phone with me. Like, so, you know, when it's family time, I like to just leave my phone at home. And I thought, I thought about it, and I thought, Jesus, like that could have been about 20 lineups missed. So yes, it's going to be a really, really tough challenge figuring out how to navigate the amount of time that's going to be required to consistently build lineups across all of these divisions. It's going to be a challenge, and it's very possible, I would dare say likely, that I will miss many, 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 many games because of it. Get Josh on it, mate. If we were allowed, is that 12-hour time limit? Oh no, 12 minutes. Wait, how come the one with 12 minutes has got no bids on it, but the one with 3 hours has got 5 bids on it? What are we doing, guys? Yeah, if you was allowed to like delegate on Sorare, imagine that. I can delegate a manager to a league and then be like, you could take 10% of all winnings. Max Svensson, why does his name ring a bell? Where did he play in Europe? I'll be very aware of best window in history. Worked out well for Liverpool. Yeah, it's crazy. Gyökeres plus cash for Alvarez. You're literally like, I will say this, and I will take my medicine if I'm wrong on this, right? But anybody that thinks Arsenal are going to get rid of Gyökeres after one season, after how good he was for us that season, by all accounts, is absolutely brain dead. There is not a chance on earth Victor Gyökeres leaves this club this season. Not a chance. It's just like, what's he up at? 369. 369, the goose drank wine. Pranksy is allowed to do it. I don't think Pranksy was allowed to do it. From what I understood, Pranksy Plays was building the lineups on Sorare data, and then Pranksy was just pressing the button that imported the lineups into Sorare. I don't know what they'd done more recently, but he's a one-off. Don't care for him. None on the market. None on the market. He's the one-off. Have these guys just had loads of like new players minted? Isn't that Thomas Tavares? Nuno Tavares' brother. Is this the most unpredictable season ever outside of Arsenal? I even think with Arsenal, like I can see Arsenal doing one of two things this season, depending on our transfer window, of course. But I can see us being absolutely mediocre because the pressure of having to win has gone. And so we start trying to play more attacking football again, and it backfires and we concede loads more goals and we end up losing loads more games. Or I can see us being a little bit freer and taking advantage of that in the way that I feel like we should have done last season and just blowing teams away. Outside of Arsenal, there's a lot going on, isn't there? I think Man United look good. I said to you last year, actually, Josh, I thought you guys had a good team last year. Now you've had a year to kind of like bond and gel and learn and such. I think Man United could be even better this year. I think Chelsea, it's really difficult with Chelsea. No European football and, you know, about 400 of the best players on earth. Like, surely we've got to consider Chelsea as serious challengers this season. I think we'll see the fall off of the Newcastles and the Villas and stuff because they're losing a lot of their key players. Pranksy has someone building his lineups on stream for him, so he definitely still does it. But yeah, it really is like a season of massive unpredictability. And I suppose I would like to hope that from Arsenal's perspective, that if we can just be consistent, all the other teams will be taking points off of each other left, right, and centre, and we'll take advantage of that and walk away with the league by, 20 points, 30 points, 50 points. Who says no? Who says no? Everyone probably, but I have Spurs ahead of Liverpool. Not going to lie, I'm an Arsenal fan. No, I think for Liverpool as well, like, I think Salah not being at the club anymore, and I could see him coming back, and I think that'd be great if he did. But Schlott and Salah and that saga last season, I think cost Liverpool a lot. And obviously, they were mourning Jota. They did have a lot of new transfers that they had to try and like bed into the team. I could see Liverpool being strong again this season. City are the team that I'm most interested in. How are they going to do without Pep? If they do lose Rodri to Real Madrid, that is a whopping loss. Like, that goes beyond losing a player. That's like losing a leg, man. Like, David Gee. Hoping we get a winger that looks to assist Isaac rather than cut in and shoot. I think you guys were linked with Barcola, wasn't you? Good old Bradley Barks. Didn't Rodri have for 90% of... Didn't have Rodri for 90% of last season, now have Anderson. Big loss, yeah, but they can manage. Yeah, but they didn't have Rodri for 90% of last season and didn't win the league. And I think Anderson is a very good midfielder. I don't think he's as good as people think he is. Maybe playing in amongst even better players will make him shine even more. Maybe playing in amongst even better players will make him kind of blend in and not look like the guy that you thought you was going to get from him. Who's this Chiquinho guy? Where did he used to play? I've got some cards of him. It's all if, buts and maybes, isn't it? Like, it's really easy to sit here and just say, oh, this is what I think will happen, this is what I think will happen. Nobody knows what will happen. Nobody. Figueroa. My. From Wolves. Yeah, let me see if I have some of his cards already. Oh, no, I don't. I have had. I must have sold them all. Yeah, sold them. Chiquinho was ex-Benfica. God, the Portuguese Liga is low. I'm going to be over 3,000, I think, actually, for these first 4 leagues. And I still don't have, like, the big squads. Josh, this might end up being even more expensive than initially anticipated. He's winning. I think City can go either way. Fresh start and they win the league by 20 points, or it's just a disaster and Maresca sacked in first season. I don't think City can win the league by 20 points. I said this, I think it could be upwards of 50k. No, it will go nowhere near 50k. Not a chance. Not a chance. Arsenal's first 2 months are huge. Injuries are an issue. Yeah, we got a reasonably tricky first 5 games. Some definite banana skins there. EA has officially launched the FC Community API. No foot been there. Yeah, I saw that today. FootWiz and FootGG. I didn't even know FootWiz still existed. Why is he a 21 of? Why is there no data for his sales when this... Oh, because he's probably just transferred, right? depends when you pick up the likes of your Mal, Mbappe's, etc. Yeah, even with those guys considered, like 50k is never getting anywhere near that mark. Never. Even if I pick them all up straight away, first time, like instantly, it's not getting anywhere near that. What have you estimated? Around 25,000, I think. 20 to 25,000, somewhere around there. Francha. So far, we're going to be at about. Let me do these last few clubs, and then we'll kind of look at what we spent, what we've got, and then we can kind of like guesstimate beyond. Murillo. I'm just looking at Pavlidis going for £70 and wonder how much Haaland, etc. Yeah, but Pavlidis is like wildly overpriced, right? I think so anyway. I think he'll be down at like £50-40 pretty soon. But also, like, Haaland won't be much more. Haaland won't be like maybe 120, 130, won't be much more. Because he doesn't score well, like in the league, you know. Do you think getting 24 championship teams will be overkill? Yes, I had considered that. I thought buying every player from every team in every other league is well within reason, but getting every championship team is where I draw the line. I had thought the same. I had thought the same. So one of again. Loads of the Portuguese players must have just got minted. Probably at least 600 players in the championship. Yeah, it will be a lot. It will be a lot. Yeah, these guys have definitely just got a whole. That's why the amount that I've got. I thought like I was so much further, like I was so much deeper in this league, and I'm guessing they've minted a load of brand new players, and that's why I'm now here having to get like 12 new players for this team instead of like 3 new players. Don't want to do that. I suppose there isn't many teams in League 2 Bundesliga, so we'll save some there. Doesn't Bundesliga 2 have 20 teams? Obviously, like, so here's like something to consider as well. SPFL and Croatian League, they don't have many teams. And so, yeah, once we start buying into the teams, the leagues that have 20 teams, there is a thought process that's going to cost you lots more. But I have a feeling there will be a lot more cheaper players in those teams, in those leagues, because there are just generally more players. And so I don't think people are going to be going for like full collections in those situations. You know, I don't think people are going to be caring about the bottom, like Championship as a prime example. I don't think people are going to be rushing to buy the expected bottom 6 teams, because you're not going to get much out of those. So those, I should be picking up most of those teams at that lower tier for literally like first bids. You know, I should be getting most of the team, if not all of the team. Maybe not the goalkeepers, and maybe not like a certain star player here or there. But 90% of those teams should be like 1 tick or 2 ticks. 18 teams in Bundesliga, okay. See, players like this are interesting because he was selling for this price loads, and now he's like creeping up, and it's like, do I bid on him now or do I wait till he possibly comes back down to like 8 or 7? But what if he doesn't come back to 8 or 7, and then we've missed out on him twice? Once, like, you know, once at the first good price and once at the new quote unquote good price. think La Liga is going to be the best value for league streaks because of the schedule. Yeah, there's like I'm not 100% sure that it's as good as people think it's going to be, because if you're considering one game per streak level, if that game misses, you've lost a life. So it's not, I don't think it's going to be just as easy as, oh yeah, there's 8 different game times every weekend, I'm going to be able to like rinse it, because you're going to have to really like get lucky or be good skilled in taking advantage of the individual games. And of course, a lot of people won't have enough players to cover off multiple games and game times. Oh, they've got loads of new players added on. Jesus Christ. Do I think it's worth getting into the Scottish leagues or Portuguese league? Honestly, that has to be your decision. I think the prices are all right. I think Celtic, I think the prices of the big clubs in all of the leagues right now are just are like too expensive. But my fear, my concern, let's say, is that because of anytime entry, people continually add to their bank rather than sell off, you know? Like, there is that concern, I suppose, that goalkeepers just keep going up in price because people are like, yeah, I'm just going to keep the goalkeepers. Why would I get rid? And at that point, the goalkeeper prices keep skyrocketing. And at that point, how much is it going to cost to get involved, you know? Early steps will be fine. Higher you go, stacking becomes suboptimal. Yeah, to a degree. It depends on the like explicit matchup. Like if you've got Real Madrid against whoever the literal worst team in the league is, I think you could reasonably stack like, you know, I don't know, Diomande, Mbappe, Bellingham, Courtois, and then whoever your favoured starting defender is. Because all of those players have every opportunity of hitting 100 points, bar the goalkeeper who has a high chance of hitting the clean sheet. Lauren Patrick. Otavio. His price is going up, isn't it? He just ended at £6. Jesus Christ. Will you use rare classics in streaks? Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few different strategies for getting rares involved. Laun was talking in here yesterday. Laun was talking to you yesterday about a real cool strategy. If you buy one rare in season and captain it, you get a 40% uptick in rewards. That's a large reward boost for one player. You know, you've nearly got half of the total boost, but for 20% of the players. That's sizable. And so I wouldn't do that for the early streaks. I don't think it has enough value there. But certainly for the middle and upper streaks, instead of buying an entire set of rare players, buying one quality player that I think has the opportunity of hitting 100 points that game week, captaining them, and then trying to take advantage of them from that, I think could be absolutely banging. And then in the meantime, on the way up, on those like lesser streaks and stuff, I have got a vast classic gallery to the point where I'll absolutely be able to take advantage of those. It's really weird that the cards that are up for longer have got the higher bids on. Otavio transferred to Frankfurt. He did indeed. He did indeed. In-season rare captain with a classic rare is over 50%. I think it's 45, right? I think you get 5% for a classic rare and then 15% if it's captained. So you'll get 45% if you have an in-season rare and a classic rare. But again, like how much, like let's say again, it's, you know, I've got Benfica, I'm on the top spot, and I just go and buy Benfica's best rare card that I expected to score the best. And I pick them up and then put my classic Benfica rare in as well. And then, yeah, boom, I get for in season and a rare and a classic, 45% score, like bonus reward, like with way lower risk. Because obviously once that game is finished, win or lose, you just sell that rare back on again. And then, you know, okay, maybe you take a haircut on buying and selling it, maybe make a profit on buying and selling it. But either way, you wouldn't have won the reward without it. So you might as well try it, you know? So yeah, I really like the strategy options of the rares up the kind of mid and higher tiers. And then, of course, I will be using... Why is this goalkeeper specifically so expensive? And then I will be... Is it because he's the first goalkeeper in the first game week, and so people are, like, desperate to get him? See, and that makes me feel like I'll just wait for Malakau. I'll wait for them and pick them up, like, after the first game week. Or after the first game, when people inevitably, like, just dump their cards. Not that I want manager cards. I need to buy them off the auction house, but... We've got Pinocchio. He was the best goalie in Portugal after Diogo Costa. Is that right? It's interesting. I bought 4 in-season SPFL players at Limited with 1 rare, classic rare. Does that bonus work for the rewards? Can you explain in children terms to me? Yeah. So your classic rare will give you a 5% bonus on rewards. So if you win $1, you will get $1.05 instead. If you win 1,000 essence, you will get 1,050 essence instead. So the classic rare will give you a 5% bonus in rewards. Why is it Amorim? And one of the few that's a certified starter. And he's staying at the same club? Surely, not surely, but how come, I suppose, is the question I want to ask. How come he hasn't moved clubs if he was so good? Why hasn't one of the big teams picked him up? Why hasn't he moved to a bigger European league? Where's Moreira? Gustavo Sa. He is linked to a move to Sporting. Okay. Thomas Shocks. Jangil. The keeper scores the best after Costa. Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, so we're 3,000 spent now. Yeah, so on the note of, I've got a couple more teams here, but on the note of how much it will cost overall, it's looking like it's costing around £1,000 per league. But so far, that's a league that's had 10 teams, 12 teams, and then however many the Portuguese league has got. And the Austrian Bundesliga. I think it's a 10, 12, and 14 or whatever. It won't, like, that won't vary much from league to league, because there won't be, like, there will be so many more players going for £1.76 instead of for £3 or £4 or £5. So if we're looking at, let's say, to put an average number on it, let's say £1,000 per minor league, we'll be looking at Eredivisie. I think it will be a bit more than that, because some of the players, like, how much are the PSV players going to go for? But then again, is it going to counterbalance, because there's the discrepancy is so big in, for example, the Eredivisie, that those bottom feeder teams will literally just be pennies on the dollar for cards. Let's say, for the sake of argument, let's say it's £1,000 per minor league, and double that for the major leagues. That alone would get it to about, 15,000, and that's way lower than I think it's going to be. So there's a lot of leeway in it being more than £1,000 per league on average, which I'm currently, like, below, because I've spent 3,000 so far. I've finished the Croatian league all bar a handful of players, like literally like we're £10 out from finishing that league. I've almost finished the Austrian Bundesliga apart from Salzburg. I'm really deep in the Scottish league, really deep in the Liga NOS, and it's been a £3,000 spend so far. So yeah, I would estimate around £1,000 per league. Or per, well, not league, because obviously Contender is multiple different leagues, so there's that to consider as well. The Prem won't be less than 4,500. I think you'd be surprised, mate. I think you'd be surprised. What's this guy going for? £8.69. Keeping in mind that there's no incentive to pick up every single card. I'm not buying one-offs. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll be buying players that I feel are a good fit for price. Yeah, Japan I'm skipping. That's right, yeah. That's Doucet. Who was that? Strata. Why is his spiked? It's interesting seeing players spike because he doesn't look like natural growth. He looks like transfer rumor or good preseason or something, or like all of a sudden there's a set piece taker. What's up, the White Pele? Don't know if there's a new page on MFL, but we've seen the record tab when you go onto a club. Yeah, I made a video on it. Did you see the video on it? Because I made a video on it. Barca and Madrid will be 2.5 to 3K alone. Yeah, I just don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that at all. But also, let's say they were, for the sake of argument, the rest of the league is not desirable for people. The rest of the league will be £1,000. You know, you basically got to, if we're kind of putting a price on each league, if we just exclude all of the big clubs, the rest of the whole of every league is £1,000. So then it just comes down to the big club, and then how much do we spend on those players on the big club? And we can take a look, and I'll show you what I mean, right? But we can take a look at some players from last season. Now, I don't think last season's prices are going to perfectly emulate this season's prices because of anytime entry and because of the split from leaderboards to streaks. But let me just do this last team, because then we're done through the cycle for now. But for example, like Bukayo Saka, I purchased the one of at £281 last season. Before a ball was even kicked in the Premier League, he was down at like £91. And then I think he even hit down in the 60s, £60 range by like game week 3, game week 4. So there's going to be great opportunity to pick up the low tier players from the low tier clubs at really good prices to get you on the board and get your streaks in early and get your leaderboard points in early. And then there's going to be a better opportunity to pick up the stars more as you go through, you know, as the kind of weeks roll on. The only risk of that, as I say, is that because there's anytime entry and people are playing in and engaging in anytime entry, there is far more desire for these star players on a typical game-to-game basis, because everybody's going to be on such varying streaks and streak levels that if somebody's on their last streak level, they're just going to overpay massively for like a Bruno Fernandes in that week. And so all of a sudden there's like, damn, is there going to be an opportunity for the player prices of the stars to come down? Or is it going to be a case of once they're at where they're at and until kind of like back end of the season, they are just going to go up? It's certainly something to consider. It's certainly something to consider. What's that? That was him. Marcas. We'll do one tick on him. Maracas. Don't mind a pair of maracas, me. I'd be very surprised if Barca is 3K. I spent 2.5K on La Liga at the start for the full Barca, Madrid, and best players of the league. Yeah, that's what I mean. NCF, like I would be surprised there as well. And like I say, like I don't know if you bought them like at a good price or whatever, but I'm sure if you waited a week or two, you probably could have got them 20-30% cheaper than what you'd got. So it's just about it's just about the right time of buying for the Barca players and such, and the Lamine Yamals and stuff, things like that. I don't want to bid again on him. So actually now I've backed down to 2.8k because obviously like I've got loads and loads and loads of bids out, right? What you've also got to consider, and here's the fun thing. I don't know how this is going to work precisely, but I find it to be enjoyable to think about. On the collections, the collection missions, let's go to the, what is it, Liga NOS? No, the contender. This 3-star card can be any 3-star card, so I understand. It's not going to be attributed to the league. So when I get the star card, the icon card from the SPFL, because I'll be completing all of these missions and such, obviously, when we pick up these 2 stars, that could be 2 huge players that give huge value. Obviously, it could also be a J League player or a K League player or an MLS player that's worth like £3. And then the collecting of the star and icon players, this icon card again could be a Lamine Yamal and like could just cover off a huge portion. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot to be returned in terms of essence, cards, and clues from the collect missions, and in terms of the volume of rewards we will get from the Sorare wheel. That will obviously negate a large part, and I'm hopeful that once I can start spinning the wheel that I'll start banking some good market credits. Are we sure these aren't league specific? Not for Sorare 27, I'm not sure. If they are league specific, that is even better, because then I'm guaranteed icons and such from the top leagues. But the people that have been pulling, somebody said that they pulled from collecting J League cards, they pulled from their J League mission or K League mission, and they got an MLS card from it. So in Sorare 26, at the very least, they are not league specific. But I don't know what that is for Sorare 27. Yeah, so we picked up a whole bunch more players. Yeah, I pulled the MLS goalkeeper from the SPFL collection missions. Wait, how did you get your SPFL collection to give you the card? Have I got down to a card yet? Not there. Not there. Honestly, no idea. Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah, because for me on the contender ones, it just keeps telling me that there's no player to pick. Just claimed it and it popped up. Yeah, that's mad. Yeah, so if we look at the market now, like, listen, I'm just putting a number on it for the sake of putting a number on it, right? One sec. For the sake of argument, it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, ignoring 9,000. Let's say, just to put a number on it, 10,000 for all of those minor leagues. Every player bought at the right time. And then for each of these, even if there is a 3,000 to 4,000 for each one of them, let's say for the majors, 4, 8, 12, 16, that would still put me in and around the region that I thought it would be. Josh kind of alluded to me that he thinks it would be around the 20 to 25k, and maybe we can bring that down based on an averaging of all players and getting the bottom players and stuff. I think it's going to be a bit higher than that. My initial thought process was like 25 to 30, and I think we'll come in under that. One thing that I was considering was like selling my Arsenal super rares and uniques, just as a bulk buy, to like a bulk offering to someone, and just be like, hey, you want to buy all of them? What's your best price? Just so I don't have to deposit in again. But if I have to deposit, I'm going to deposit. Is Sorare basically in real life foot? It has some similarities. Zycario, yeah. Is this new money to put in the game or money you've already invested? Well, the money that I'm spending now is money that I've won from the game last season. And then obviously, like, yeah, in terms of like my classics, I mean, I don't know how much I don't know how much some of these cards are worth, but I can imagine Diamande is a decent price with his expected move to Real Madrid. Yeah, look at that, £150. Like, I absolutely should just sell him. But also, what if he's the guy that I use as my classic when Real Madrid are playing the bottom team in the league, and I use Diamande as my classic rare as captain and get myself a 5% boost? But yeah, I could sell Diamande and rack up a little bit more cash. I could sell. I doubt Zaire Emery's worth all that much. Still £17. It would still go into it. Vitinha's probably worth a decent amount still. Actually, maybe like £70, £80. If Vinny J comes to Arsenal, no chance in hell am I selling his cards. But we got some obviously really good classic rares. Pedri has good value. I would assume Dembele still has good value. Under £100 now, mind you. And then, yeah, they've got the two uniques, which I bought these when they were already classics, so I can assume that I can retrieve similar sort of value back for the pair of them, maybe like 3,000 or 4,000 there. And then for the super rares, some of these won't be worth too much. Like Joker is probably not. Rice could be worth a bit. Saka could be worth a bit. I think if Kepa goes somewhere and becomes a starter, he could be worth a bit. Raya, both cards could be worth a bit. So there's value there, right? There's value there for sure. Fidelta, thank you very much for the 3 months. Great to see Sorare back, isn't it just? Isn't it just? So yeah, I think there's value in the gallery, but I kind of look at these Arsenal players and I think to myself, I might just play them in classic super rare and see if I can win a super rare. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously the prize pools, if I'm playing super rare champion classic and I finish first and hit, I don't know, a Diamande super rare, it's going to be like a huge chunk back. Obviously, if I don't, then it's a waste, right? But get them listed. Perfect time now. I'd rather just message some people that I know might be interested in them and say, are you interested in buying my like super rare and unique setup? What's most expensive card on this? I don't know for like right now in this current season. Probably a unique Mbappe. What did his one sell for? His current in-season card. Yeah, it sold for 20,000. What is the difference between the card rarity competitions then? Yeah, basically. So your lowest rarity is limited. Then rare, there's 1,000 limiteds of each player each season. Then rare, where there's 100 versions of each player each season. Then super rare, where there's 10 versions of each player each season. And then unique, where there's one version of a player each season. Unique and super rare gives you like humongous reward potential. Rare gives you good reward potential. Limited gives you good reward potential as well. I personally think that rare is not worth playing this season. Time will tell. Maybe my instincts are wrong, but have you decided if you play a rare or limited classic smasher for streaks? Yeah, I will, of course, yeah. But there's like I've got too many good rares, man. My gallery is too full of quality at that rare level. To not sit here and want to use these cards. You know, like for example, like Courtois, having 2 Thibaut Courtois, that just opens me up to run some really cool lineups where I don't like, you know, if Real Madrid are keeping clean sheet after clean sheet, there's pick number 1 every weekend in a streak, you know. Rodrigo, if Rodrigo goes Man City as well, that's another banging player. Pedri will be a banger. Dembele will be a banger, especially because of anytime entry. Because this time now, I won't have to guess if Dembele is going to start. I will know if he starts. Got some Erdegaards. Rare Messi. What's he selling for these days? £100. Jesus Christ. We've got Lamine. We've got Mbappe. Kvaratskhelia. Love that. Bit of Kai Wagner. Jude. Kimmich. Joao Neves. 2 Harry Kanes. Lots of Arsenal players. Erling Haaland. Diogo Costa. He'll be really handy. What's Carlos Gil selling for these days? £36 for a Gil Rare. That's insane. SCF08, thank you very much for the 14 months, man. So rare hype. Bring club back. Club football. Hell yeah, dude. I bought Kane Limited today, already owning Schlotterbeck and Kimmich Limited. But I feel like I should buy 1 or 2 rare classics. They're not even much more. Yeah, that like, I mean, okay, that's Carlos Hill, but let's have a look at like Cole Palmer. Okay, he's actually sold just for £65. That's quite mad. What about a Rice? What's Rice saying? Yeah, see, £30 for a Declan Rice. Now, granted, he probably won't play the first few games of the season because he's resting or whatever. But £30 for a classic rare Declan Rice. That's good. Like, that is just good. Think you'd be stupid not to play a rare classic. McGrath rare classic is £1, and his new in-season is 20 quid. McGregor classic, £3 rare, £30 for new limited. Yeah, the like, I do get that perspective. The only, obviously, thing to consider is you can only play 1 classic rare. Do you think respected journalists like Ben Jacobs would put a tweet out to discredit Arsenal by suggesting Liverpool are not in the race for Vinicius Jr.? Yes, that's exactly what I think he did. I think his entire motive was to effectively say the only reason why Arsenal have got a chance is because Liverpool decided not to go in for him. I think that was... Do you think that respected journalists can't have bias? Do you think that they can't have subliminal hints? Do you think that they can't make subtle digs at clubs? Do you think they don't get things wrong? Because I guarantee you I could go through his timeline right now and find a good portion of things that he's been wrong about and has had like back and forths about with people and has had shots and digs and shots at. I guarantee you can find it. I guarantee it. Also, you want that rare to be the captain, surely? Yeah, you do, yeah. Yeah, the token limit is terrible, Boshari. That's why I've kind of given up with the token stuff. Do you know if we can use classic super rare and limited streaks? I don't think you can. I don't have any super rares from any of these. Contender I have super rares from, I suppose. Oh, yeah, you can. There you go. What do you mean by tokens? He's talking about FC. On your point from earlier, Nep, do you think going with 4 to 5 lower team full club collection, then use the streak leaderboards rewards for collection rewards and go for the stars later? Yeah, I think somebody at the very start of the stream kind of spoke on this and we spoke about it. I think there's possible, not guaranteed, possible good value in, say, for the SPFL, picking up the bottom half of the table, the bottom 6 clubs of the SPFL, to kind of like use to run up as much as you can through here and recycle as much as you can. And then if you considered buying a classic rare from a Rangers or a Celtic that would give you a really good value of points boost and a little value of kind of a little return on your sort of rewards boost, I think that's a really viable option. And I do think that the streams, I'm not saying I'm the reason or anything, but I do think the streams that we've done over the last few days is causing the floor price of players to go a little bit higher, because I do think a lot of people are emulating what I'm doing, just maybe not at the scale that I'm doing. I do think people are looking at it going, yeah, do you know what? Let me go get the worst 3 clubs in the league, all of them, and just see. Because it's so cheap, right? Ben Jacobs is an awful journalist. He gets paid to do podcasts, and a lot of his rumours and stories are very favourable to clubs he's getting paid to talk about. Nep, if you didn't know, Ben Jacobs is a terrible journalist. He lies a lot with other clubs. What do you have to say to that, Jack Charlesworth, who came in my stream all guns blazing to try and give me shit about my opinion? What do you think about that? That's why I love the second Bundes. Anyone can beat anyone. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Listen, don't get me wrong. It's getting expensive. I knew it was going to get expensive. I was under no illusions, because a few people in the chat have mentioned the price here. I was under no illusions that this was going to be cheap. I absolutely knew that this was going to be expensive. No, dude. I've just told you how valuable classic rares are, and you want to come in and buy 2 of my best? Get out of here, man. Eredivisie. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what these ones go for. Dennis Man, the GOAT. It's just Dennis Man. Where is Dennis Man? There we go. Yeah, so for the Eredivisie, what kind of teams have we got here? Ajax will be quite expensive. RZ will be. Rotterdam will be cheap. Groningen cheap. Twente will be quite, not expensive, but they'll be one of the top teams. Utrecht are okay. Feyenoord are good, obviously. Fortuna Sittard, Eagles, and Ardu Den Haag will be terrible. Like loads of these cards are just going to go for dirt cheap again, and we'll just start building out. How far in the collection for each league? The Croatian league is pretty much done. The only players I don't have are either players that are no longer being minted or that I've got bids on, but I'm about 5, maybe even 3 cards short now. So yeah, we're basically done on the Croatian league. The Austrian Bundesliga is almost done, apart from I haven't bought any Salzburg cards yet. We've got a few to go on these. I've actually got some of the bigger players here. It's actually the smaller players that I'm missing on Sturm Graz and Lask. But we have finished Gormnatic Reed, almost finished VN, 1 point away here, 1 card away here. But again, I don't think that card is on the market. 2 cards away from Hartberg, and I don't think these cards are on the market. Oh, he is now. I'm winning him anyway. I've been outbid on that one. So I've apart from Salzburg and a handful of cards, like important cards elsewhere, we're also almost done on the Austrian Bundesliga. The Scottish Premier League is nothing from Rangers or Celtic yet. Loads of bids out on everything else on these, and getting quite deep into them for the most part. And then for the Portuguese league, probably the one we have the least cards in, but it's not a bad effort so far. Does it count as a complete collection if you can't buy the last cards any longer? So I would assume that they will have to change the collection rules, right? So for example, if we go to the Austrian Bundesliga, complete the full collections here, I've done 1, but I have also done this Austria Leno, I've done those. I can't buy any more cards. Tiro, I can't buy any more cards. There was one where I'm missing 5 cards. That might have been in the Croatian league. Not Zagreb. No, it's not. It is in the Austrian Bundesliga. I think it's is it Hartberg? No, not Hartberg. No, it won't be Rapid Wien either. Not them, not them, not them. Not them, not them, not them. One of these teams anyway, I'm missing 5 cards from. Maybe it's whichever one it is. I don't know bloody which one it is off the top of my head now. Yeah, one of these. Oh yeah, there you go. Rudez. We're missing 5 cards from Rudez. Rudz Zagreb. None of them exist anymore. So it's like this team is done, even though it doesn't look like it's done. I can't do anything. And so I would assume Sorare will inevitably, eventually, maybe only once the transfer window's done, remove these cards from being part of the needed collection, and then it will just update and I'll get all the rewards at once. I think there's a marked difference between suggesting he's a bad journalist and that he would intentionally publish a tweet to say Liverpool aren't in a race for Vinny J to discredit Arsenal. So you just avoided the question. Fair enough. I actually had a good thought for SPFL match day 1. I should run a Rangers for leaderboard the first match day, then use games like Falkirk, St Mirren, Aberdeen, Hearts for the first couple of streaks, since the points will be very achievable, and save my Celtic for stay streak 3 or 4. Rangers very likely to high score against Dundee United, putting me in a great position for cash. Yeah, that's bang on what everybody's kind of strategy is probably going to be, PB and Ray for sure. Let's say it's Friday and it's just one game in the Croatian League, Rijeka versus Istra. Do you get more keepers to try and put all 4 teams in, or just streak on that streak? Yeah, I'll probably just streak on that game. Just that's it. It's also like, especially when it comes to the contender, there's so many other leagues here. Like, I could, for example, I don't know if this is necessarily the game week, but let's say, we've got Gorica against Osijek. Let's say this is the only like Sorare 27 game. If I've got a keeper from Henenjianye or Valerenga, or if there's some like Argentinian games on in the morning, if I've got the Pumas keeper, or I have got the Tijuana keeper, for example, I could just throw that keeper in instead, and then use the actual keeper and 4 outfielders from, let's say, Gorica, the actual keeper and 4 outfielders from Osijek, then a classic keeper from another like team, and then some more outfielders that are confirmed for two other lineups. We'll be adding 4 leaderboard teams for each league team each game week. Oh yes, yeah. So and again, like here's where I'm hoping to get the value back. Right. Obviously, any time entry, having every player, every opportunity for every streak level, that should be great value. I will build the in-season lineups first, but with players that I don't anticipate I will use in streaks. So for Celtic, for example, or Rangers, for example, I'll build a Rangers lineup, but it'll be the guys that I expect to score poorly, or not the stars, not the starters, not the guys that I think are going to be great. And then obviously we got four shots of the leaderboard here. Not here, because that's not what we want. We want this here. We'll have 4 lineups for these, like for this here. And even if we can farm some essence, let alone some cash, happy days, right? It's bonus. And then we'll do the streaks on top. Then on top of that, we're going to be playing the daily, whatever they have for the daily games every day. So we're going to hopefully take advantage of the daily play stuff. Then on top of that, we're going to enter into the classic arena, where we'll do like the proper lineups. Under 23 lineup, I'll have them. All-star lineups, I'll have them. Once they release the like championship and contender, I guess we're getting a contender board. I don't know if we are. Then they will have value there. And then after that, in here, let's go to All-Star, see if we've actually got lineups to put in. In here, there's just going to be so much possibility to farm essence, because again, I will have every starter every time. Going to be a point when you're on a higher streak than expected and have to cancel a leaderboard lineup for streaks. You can't like reuse the cards if you cancel. Not sure what question I avoided. 2 people in your comment section believe he's not a good journalist. I suspect lots of people suggest otherwise. Yeah, but lots of people suggest otherwise. My question to you was, do you think that he can't? Do you think it's not possible? Do you think he's a good journalist because you think he's a good journalist, or do you think he's a good journalist because you've bought into his narratives? Like you definitely avoided the fact that you came into my stream giving me shit because of my opinion, and then it turns out that everybody that spoke on your Lord and Savior spoke negatively on him. And now instead of you trying to be rational with it and suggest, yeah, do you know what, Nep? Maybe I've been bought into by his biased reporting, or maybe there are some things I've missed where he's been toxic and it's just slipped past, giving him the benefit of doubt, whatever. Instead of that, you've kind of like doubled down. Like, it's just a really weird thing to come into the stream. I didn't give you shit. Brother, your first comment, if you're going to sit here and try and pretend to people that your first comment wasn't in here, you coming in here having some sideways jab, I don't know what to tell you, man. Your first comment was, and I will read it out for you. Not your first comment, but your first comment on this. Do you think a respected journalist like Ben Jacobs would put a tweet out to discredit Arsenal by suggesting Liverpool are not in the race for Vinny J? It's such a dedicated message to me to basically say you're wrong, because you've already presupposed your opinion in the question, right? And the one before, Hennep, I don't understand quote tweet of Ben Jacobs the other day regarding Vinicius Jr. not being a Liverpool target. But you do understand it. You understand full well, because your next message was with the context, and I didn't say anything back to your first message. You fully understood what I was talking about. And you know, there was no. Find me other people talking about Liverpool signing Vinicius Jr. Find me other journalists saying that Liverpool have pulled out of the race of Vinicius Jr. Find me other journalists that have said Liverpool don't want Vinicius Jr. Who doesn't want Vinicius Jr.? Maybe they can't afford him, especially with other budgets put elsewhere. But no club would be like, nah, not him, unless it's because you can't afford him, rather than because you don't want him. And I know, like, clubs, people will say, but he's a bad egg, he's a bad apple. He'll mess up the dressing room. You would still take him, and you're lying to yourself if you think that you wouldn't. Which means for Liverpool to not want Vinicius Jr. when no other journalist has spoken on it is his way of saying Arsenal have got Vinny J. Look at the Morgan Rogers stuff, right? The narrative is Arsenal lost out on Morgan Rogers to Chelsea because he wanted Chelsea. He didn't want Chelsea. He wanted Arsenal. Arsenal just weren't willing to pay the fee that Chelsea would pay. But that narrative has got so many impressions for people on X. It's grown people's accounts and made them so much money on X because people keep spinning and biting into this whole, he didn't even want Arsenal, he wanted Chelsea. No, he fucking didn't. If Arsenal matched the bid, he would have gone Arsenal, right? We didn't want to overpay for him. He's seen that, and he's doing the same thing with Vinny J. He's been like, do you know what? Liverpool don't want Vinicius Jr., and so Arsenal have got him. He didn't say anything about Arsenal, but the implication is there. And if you don't think the implication is there, then I think you're an idiot. I had some contender cards that are from last season, but still count as in seasons. I put those in a lineup. They only play first week of August. Will Sorare remove the lineup or not? I think they will, yeah. Oh, I've missed that. You can't reuse the cards. You cancel from bad lineups. So you can in set. I haven't seen the communication that you can't in Sorare 27, but several people yesterday had let me know that has been confirmed. Okay, so Jack, again, find me another journalist, any other respected journalist that has spoken on Vinicius Jr. in Liverpool. Anyone. You can't reuse them on the same level in pro. So we had the conversation yesterday. You was here for it, Neil, I believe. Anyway, that if I had a lineup in Arena, and none of the players had kicked off, but I'd already confirmed the cards in there, and then one of my pro lineups like shit the bed, and I'm like, oh damn, actually I've missed out on that first streak, so I do want these Celtic cards to come back into my team because I want to put them in the streak for here. If I cancel that lineup in Arena, I still won't be able to use the other cards. That's what I was told. I'm being genuine when I said I would worry tremendously if United bought him. From a footballing perspective, Josh, or a financial perspective? No, you won't. Okay, so as I said yesterday, find me the literature. Find me where Sorare have said that is what will happen in Sorare 27. It's in one of the blogs. You would have to lose all of your lives on a step to reuse the same cards in the same game week. Yeah, but we're not talking about reusing cards from streaks in streaks. We're talking about reusing cards from Arena in streaks. Both. Fair enough. I disagree. I think if Manchester United came out with a post today and was like, in a stunning turn of events, we signed Vinicius Jr., I think you'd be gassed. What's up, Aiden? How you doing, man? Last year we were able to play with last season in season. I did that. Get planning on doing so this year. I scouted some of those players. Works because first game week of Bundesliga 2 is before the new Bundesliga in season drop. So if a player from a Bundesliga club, yeah, you'll be able to take advantage of transferred players for sure. I'm curious as to why you're buying up the bottom teams in leagues, since you will probably almost never want to use them, like in colour sets. I know I'll never use the players from bad nations. I can't complete the collection missions without them. Maybe a silly question, but my strategy till in-season prices plateau is going to be spam J-League, classic arenas, do the J-League 10-man arenas, only your raw J-League Essence, or is it All-Star? I believe it's All-Star from arenas. I don't think at this moment it's flavoured Essence. Would hate to be Zolis day after you sign Vinicius, Vinny news drops. Yeah, I'd be mad. Yeah, arena is neutral normally, yeah. When you've completed the collection missions, will you sell the players you don't want, won't use? It depends what kind of price they're like generating. You know, all these players that I bought for £1.70s over and over and over, if I'm able to sell them for like 90p, 80p, yeah, I think that would be great to start, you know, getting 50% return on investment on these cards. They've done their job. They've helped the collection missions. They've helped the collection score. Like, we've got a true understanding of which cards are good and which cards aren't, then yeah, I think for a few pounds or like, you know, 70, 80p, it'd probably be worth getting rid of them. I don't know if I could be bothered to go through it all and do that. If a player, like if an unexpected player that I bought for £2 starts becoming worth 20 or 30 pounds because they're in a cracking season, I wouldn't sell them. Are you able to complete all collections in Croatia? No, not all of the players are gone. Some of them are already transferred out and aren't being minted anymore. No. Wow, we're over 900 spins now. You can reuse a lock card for another match. For example, your Dembele card is locked in an active lineup for PSG versus Nantes. You can't remove him from that lineup, but you can still play his card in another lineup for PSG's next match. Yeah, that's on the preset lineups for going forwards. That's not the thing that we're kind of asking about. The thing we need to know about is if I have an in season, because they're talking about streaks again. If you've used Dembele, well, you wouldn't be able to cancel him and put him back in anyway because it's already been used. But he just sent you over £50 over the floor for that Don or remote. Why not accept it? Because I want the player rather than the money. He's my player. Also, this is the PSG version, and there weren't many of those minted. And so he's probably, if you look for these are City versions. If you look for the last PSG version that was sold, that probably isn't over the floor price for what the card is worth. But Donnarumma is one of the best goalkeepers in the league as far as a classic goes. He's going to be delightful for us. And I've got 5% XP on him. Oh, sorry, 5%. I could get him up the level if I wanted. Get rid of some of that XP, that rare XP. Yeah, we've got level 9 XP on him, which is banging. We've got 5% collection bonus and, well, currently 5% in-season bonus, but he'll be 15% for me as a classic, which will be great. Like, it's just going to be good. Were you not worried about attacking press with him? With Vinicius Jr., such a huge part of your game. I think that's Arteta's job. There's only 10 PSG rare mints too. Yeah, there you go. I think would you have said at the start of the season, Josh, would you not be worried about your lack of ability on counters, your lack of transitional play, your inability to have anyone good enough on the left to the point where Saka gets double and triple marked? Like every team has caveats, don't they, where it's like, are you not worried about this thing? Would there possibly be a shift in Arsenal's attacking press with Vinicius Jr. in the team? Yeah, maybe. Would I like to explore that at the cost of having Vinicius Jr.? Yeah, definitely would. I'll be very happy to have him at the club. Him, Bruno G, Julian Alvarez, maybe Ezri Konsa. Give it to me. Give it to me. I suppose it's easier when you're starting from such a solid foundation. Yeah, I think so. Because Trossard wasn't particularly the best at pressing. Martinelli was, but Trossard wasn't. I also think it's possible that if like Miles Lewis-Skelly becomes a midfielder, well, he's not if he becomes, he's obviously going to be a midfielder for us now. But with Miles Lewis-Skelly being in that midfield, I wonder if we sign someone like Vinicius Jr., he could occupy more of a press on the left side. I don't know. I don't know how it would work, but yeah, all I see in my head when I close my eyes at night to fall asleep, I just see Vinicius Jr., Victor Gyökeres, Bukayo Saka. Oh man, with Alvarez in behind, and then like Rice and Guimaraes. Oh man, tell me we don't win every game of the season. It's going to be impossible to lose. Just noticed Sorare has Custias in the wrong Portuguese team on auction. Oh, is that right? Sounds like the meme with the Marines and the clown. You better be talking about Julian Alvarez, because there's no way you're talking about my guy. Do you think that side will close the gap with PSG in the Champions League? That should be Arsenal focused, surely. Yeah, I mean, I do think it does. I admire your strategy with the arenas, but with 14 comps and about 18 teams in each, aren't you worried about having to be consistently online to see who's starting? Yeah, that's going to be the true test of how impactful this strategy can be, because the theory behind the strategy, I think, is absolutely legit. We get the opportunity of kind of rewards at all areas, under 23, all-star, all classic, like, because obviously we can play the in-seasons in the classic comps. So if I haven't got like really good classic cards, don't worry, I've got in-season cards I could play anyway. I could play the arenas, the streaks, and then of course we'll take advantage of the wheel spins and the collection bonuses. Like, there's a lot of advantage to be had there. The thing that is going to determine how much of what we're doing I can take advantage of is literally going to come down to how much time can I dedicate to it. Would you swap? Yeah, the reports for Gyökeres for Alvarez are just nonsense. Like, and Josh is right. You are speaking to my agent. You're speaking to his agent. He could be my agent if he wants. He'd probably do a better job. There is zero chance we will get rid of Gyökeres this season. Zero chance. Are you not worried about wasting clues from spins? Why am I wasting clues? You absolutely have to give him another season. Yeah, 100%. And a season where we're kind of like working for him, not against him, right? Am I going to sit here and say he had a perfect season? No, he didn't. He should have scored a few more goals. It would have been a lot easier. There were some clunky moments, some bad ball control, and you could see, in spite of how much of a mentality monster he's proven to be, you could see that like all of the noise was getting in his head. You could see it. But we definitely need to see a campaign where he's now going to walk onto the field as a champion, respected and played for. And I also think, and this is where I start dreaming, man. This is where I start dreaming. If Saka has a fully fit season, I think that's better for Gyökeres. If we get Bruno Guimaraes, I absolutely think that's insane for Gyökeres because he loves playing those line-breaking forward passes. If we get Vinicius Jr., teams will no longer be able to double or triple up on Saka because they won't be looking over the other side going, it's just Trossard. I'm over here. I'll be all right. They're going to be like, oh shit, that's Vinicius Jr. And so now all of a sudden, we've got an attacking front three that is so feared that you can't just focus one guy. And that should, again, give Gyökeres more opportunities to score goals. Havertz is just better. What about Havertz is better? The opponent defense will be much more stretched and Vinny and Saka on the wings, so there's a lot more space for Gyökeres. Like, precisely, yeah, precisely. Better hair? Has he? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Physically better, more problem for defenders. So why hasn't he scored as many goals as Gyökeres has in any season that he's been in an Arsenal shirt so far? Gyökeres needs serving. People can't expect him to create for the team. The team needs to create for him, and then we'll believe for it. Yeah, precisely. How likely is a Vinny J signing happens? I don't know, man. Less pens. Even if you take away penalties, Gyökeres still has more goals than any non-penalty season that Kai Havertz has had in an Arsenal shirt. So then what? Fairs, I just prefer Havertz. So then Havertz isn't better. You just like him more. And why do you like him more? Like, genuine question. Why do you like him more? You don't know, actually. First season, Havertz had 14 goals. Yeah, but I think he scored like 3 penalties that season. And his first goal was a penalty, a charity penalty, because he couldn't score a fucking goal. It was rough, man, going for Kai Havertz. And this is the thing that I don't know how Arsenal have been kind of like manipulated into believing that Kai Havertz is the guy we've been missing. We've had him, and we didn't win it with him. He wasn't banging 20 plus goals per season. He wasn't getting enough assists to the point where he was the creator rather than the finisher. Like, we struggled with him up front. He missed a lot of easy goals, a lot of easy chances. Like, he missed a lot for us, a lot. Now Gyökeres has come in, had a similar trend in terms of fortunes and goals, scored a little bit more, helped us to a title. And all of a sudden people are going, man, Havertz is so much better. How? I don't think Havertz is the guy you've been missing. I just don't know that Gyökeres is the guy. It's maybe he's not. I think he is. I think if we play to his strengths, I think Gyökeres scores 20 Premier League goals and 30 to 35 goals all season, right? But I think if you put Kane in our team, I think if you put Mbappe in our team, they get roughly the same amount of goals as Gyökeres. If, like, people seem to want a creator, people seem to be really intent on Julian Alvarez being there because he'll create. The whole problem was when we had nothing but creators is that we didn't have the finisher. We didn't have the guy that could bag the goals. Yet when we bought the guy that could bag the goals, we stopped creating for him. We created so little last season. It was a pain to watch how poor we were in the offense. And I don't think having a creative player is the thing that would fix that. I don't think any striker would be the guy for Arsenal. The team is set up in a way that isn't best for the striker. Yeah, it's true. You don't think Mbappe would score more than Gyökeres? I didn't say Mbappe wouldn't score more than Gyökeres. I said Kane and Mbappe I would expect they wouldn't score much more than Gyökeres, I think is the exact words that I used. Because I don't think they would. Because Gyökeres didn't score because of missing lots of chances. Gyökeres didn't score because of literal lack of chances, right? So if we're not creating chances for our striker, it doesn't matter who's there. They're not getting the chances to score in the first place. So yeah, I think Mbappe would probably score some more than Gyökeres, but I don't think it would be significant. 3, 5 maybe, but not more than that. Thanks, Bressy pal. Yeah, but they don't want to play passes to that stiff idiot. Okay, so we realise now that you're actually just a moron that hates Gyökeres and not somebody that wants to have a serious discussion about football. Fair enough. You just say roughly the same. Is that what? Yeah, but I do think it would be roughly the same. I do think it would be roughly the same. Yeah, I think it would probably be a little higher, but I do think it'd be roughly the same. Was Gyökeres not fit for the Champions League final? Or was that a tactical decision to play Havertz that day? Yeah, it was probably tactical. I think Arteta expected Gyökeres to have more of an impact in the second half of the game. Chelsea going for Welbeck. It's mad for Welbeck, isn't it? It's mad for Welbeck. I'd almost prefer Arsenal to play with a false nine with the way we play. I wouldn't. A false nine would be horrible for us because then we'd have no one in the box. Like our biggest, one of our biggest issues last season, outside of just being terrible on transition, is that we would get the ball on the halfway line, we'd pass it, the horseshoe passing between, Saliba, Gabriel, and one of the fullbacks, or Erdegaard, or whoever was kind of like rotating and floating across to connect the horseshoe passes. Then you'd have the wingers out wide. Then you'd have like the midfielders on the edge of the box, Gyökeres in the box, and then who would be the people that would join him in the box? It would be Timber and Calafiori. If you need enough time in your build-up for your fullbacks to join your striker in the box, there's a fucking issue there. Our midfielders should be in the box with Gyökeres. Like Erdegaard, he's the guy that likes to pull the strings. So Rice should be in there, or Zubimendi should have been in there, or Martinelli or Saka should be in there with him. He was just a man on an island, man. So yeah, like obviously I have, like I love Victor Gyökeres, man. I will him so hard to be incredible for us, and I think there were very valid and fair criticisms of certain aspects of his game last season. But I also think that X started memeing him, and it bled into the wider footballing fan, and now people just think he's shit in spite of the fact he's been our most prolific goal scorer in the Emirates era. How he's like, how? People are so quick to follow that funny thing that guy said on X instead of doing any level of critical thinking and seeing what he brought to the game. Like I said, was it a perfect season? Not by any stretch of the imagination. Are there some obvious things he needed to work on? Absolutely. But he was getting scapegoated 24/7. And it was just bad. He was having banging games. And all I'm seeing on X is, man, they've really got to get rid of Gyökeres fast. And I'm thinking he's having a fucking great game here. He's been incredibly physical. He's held up the play well. He's won free kicks when we've punted the ball up to him. He's pressed really hard. He's like worked the line well. And then he'll miss a shot from 20 yards out. Oh my God, what a donkey. What a donkey. Oh, he's so terrible. And it's like, what are you fucking talking about? Can you compete in Sorare with only £100? It depends on what your definition of competing truly is. If you think, can you win competitions and get to the top level of streaks? No, I don't think you can. If you think hitting low level streaks consistently over the course of the season, then yes, I do think you can. Is that Prem? No. Well, maybe, but again, like you're better off putting that sort of money into one of the lower leagues to give yourself more scope of buying players. And so yeah, it's possible to have fun with £100 for sure. Jokeres also missed a fair few chances last season, not denying the fact we will score 20 goals a season. But I think if you put Mbappe or Kane in that Arsenal team, they'd score at least double. Okay, how many chances did he... Don't look I am low, because you've been fed your information from social media. How many big chances did he miss? Completely off topic, but the year Chelsea won the UCL, we had a really young squad that could play together with chemistry. I still don't understand the reasoning of selling all of those players. Mate, I couldn't even tell. I couldn't even name you the starting 11 for Chelsea. You'd say 15 at least. And now, how many do you think Kane and Mbappe missed last season? Yeah, that's a good idea. Code to the friend. I like that. More than that, but they can also create the chance for themselves. That's the difference. Can you not see with the way you're like your own words and your own language, how much you just hate Jokeres? And this has nothing to do with whether he's actually good or bad, and everything to do with the fact that you just dislike him. Kane and Mbappe get more chances though because they are better players. I mean, that's just not true. Otherwise, if number of chances is the key, Jokeres got loads in Portuguese league. Mbappe 23, Kane 21, Jokeres 10. There you go. Pretty sure Haaland was a clear first. He was. I think Haaland had like 24 or 25 big chances missed in the league, maybe even like 26. Haaland had an insane... I think Igor Thiago as well had an insane amount of big chances missed. 30 big chances missed for Haaland. That's insane. Now tell me, Jokeres has missed 10 big chances. He's scored big chances, and also he's scored goals that weren't big chances. You know, it's not like a definitive metric by any stretch of the imagination. But his output, his shot to goal ratio was, if not the highest in the league, one of the highest in the leagues. And yeah, I agree with Maurice as well. Comparing Kane playing in the Bundesliga versus Jokeres in the Prem is not comparable. I guarantee you, if Jokeres was in the Bundesliga, he'd have scored 50, 80, 100% more goals than he did. Like, you just know it. You just know it. Jokeres missed as many big chances as Beto and Aroca there. Told you his shit. Do I think Jokeres would outscore Mbappe if he played for Madrid? It depends on who takes set pieces. If we want to talk about non-penalty goals for the pair of them and non-free kick goals for the pair of them, I think it would be incredibly close, yes. Because you've seen what Jokeres can do against high lines and bad back lines in the Portuguese league. And the Spanish bottom halves, you know, those worst teams in Spain, are on that similar level to the teams he would have been playing in Portugal. Maybe they're a bit better, but yeah, even in the UCL for Jokeres against high lines, you could see him demolish teams in the UCL. So I absolutely think that a Jokeres versus Mbappe, you wouldn't be able to like do it with them both on the same team. You'd have to do one season in theory of Mbappe at Real Madrid at striker, and then one season in theory of Jokeres at Real Madrid at striker. And I think the numbers would be incredibly, incredibly close. Yeah. I genuinely wouldn't be able to call it. I don't think anybody here would put their house on it being Mbappe or it being Jokeres. Mbappe easy. But I just don't think it is. I just don't think it is easily Mbappe. Club football is so back. Almost. Guys, what day are we today? Monday. Friday. Have I hit 1,000 tokens yet? No. Jesus Christ, they're not moving very fast, are they? Friday. We're here. Friday. I have a lineup in general. For those of you that are divvied up, by the way, I was aware earlier, I'm very surprised at the lack of just goalkeepers I've got. I only have, what was that, 4, 8, 9 goalkeepers in total, and it like most of those look like they're not going to start. I didn't realize I had not got this many goalkeepers. Where have all the goalkeepers gone? It's crazy. Only 12 goalkeepers in the league. Yeah, but then obviously you got reserves and backups and third choices. Like, with how much of the league I've already picked up, I thought I would have had about like 25 goalkeepers. I'm confused with the keepers. I look at Hibs versus Motherwell. It says I don't have valid keepers, but I've got both Motherwell keepers. Oh, okay. Maybe that's why this doesn't show everything here then. Maybe there's like an error. Have I got something else checked? No. Yeah, maybe there's an error with it showing them then. Only 2 of them goalkeepers start. Yeah, what? The Salinger and Mitov. Oh, the odds for the games are out now. That's nice. So I put him in. And then I'm lost. I need to wait for starters. That's it. People told me Mitov is starting. Yeah, so I've got Mitov. He's going to be staying in the league, right? And then I will be buying Aberdeen's other keeper for sure, yeah. Would the tightness of that goal race also come down to how much more tightly marked Mbappe would be compared to Gyökeres for Madrid? I don't think they would attract same defensive numbers. Potentially. I actually think Sesko and Gyökeres just show where the two clubs were. Gyökeres is win now with no sell-on. Sesko is a project that could develop into a striker that wins you a title, but if not, has a good sell-on. Comparing them is sort of irrelevant considering age. Yeah, I agree. It's interesting looking at Arsenal's team now because we have got a lot of young players coming through and a lot of young players in general, but we have got a lot of players in that sort of like 27, 28 range, like bracket, where we could have 4 or 5 years of great success and then nothing again and have to like find a way to rebuild again. Salinger and Paulson are both starters. Okay. So I've got the Motherwell and the Hibs goalkeeper. That's going to be fun. Sesko got the same number of goals as Gyökeres in the Prem, minus Gyökeres is 3 pen goals. Do pen goals not count? How many? Now, okay, do me a favour then, Jack and Ori. How many Champions League goals did Sesko get compared to Gyökeres? Oh, wait. Also, for the sake of my own absolute blind amusement, how many international goals did Sesko get last season compared to Gyökeres? I think the numbers have stopped coming in, guys. Dan, thank you very much for the 5 months, bro. Sorare Joshi, thank you for the 16 months, man. Much appreciated, brother. Rasmus Højlund, top scorer in UCL. Those were the days. Was that true? We also don't count tap-ins. Yeah, anything from inside 12 yards. So if a penalty doesn't count because it's from 12 yards out, I'm guessing that's why it doesn't count. That must be the cut-off point of the distance. Anything scored within 12 yards, it doesn't count, right? I don't know. This is more with Vinny J, but does that push Downman out? No, Downman plays right wing. All goals from corners. Wait, you're not talking about goals from corners with Manchester United in the equation, are you? Weren't they like second or third highest goal scorers from corners in the league last season? Or maintain pens need to be taken by the player that won them. I like that. Same as in basketball. The person that gets fouled gets a free throw. They are done for goal tallies. They are. I do agree that they are, but they are used and scored right now. Haaland scored 0 goals last year, basically. Then, yeah. If you take away Haaland's, what we should do is basically credit goals to players if they are scored with 0.2 xg or less. So basically, any goal that blindly obviously should be a goal doesn't count. So Haaland's fucked. He scored about 3 last season. He doesn't get any more. Joker has probably scored about 5 or 6. Igor Thiago scored, I think, 2. That's fine. Any goals with assists don't count as they had help. Yep, happy for that as well. We could take assisted goals off the tally sheet as well. When will I open the wheel spins? I'll start on the wheel spins once we get the Sorare 27 cards in the thingamabobbies. So obviously by the time, I don't know how long the wheel's there for, but by the time on Tuesday, next Tuesday, not tomorrow, the following Tuesday, we'll have SPFL, Austrian Bundesliga and Croatian League players in the pool of players that you can craft. I think the following week we get Portuguese League, Eredivisie, Pro League. I don't know if I want to wait until the major leagues are back before I spin the wheels. If the wheel is still there, then that will be the case. What will you do if they just take away the wheel? Well, they're not just gonna. We're not gonna wake up one day and it's just gone. They'll let people know, hey, this is when the wheel ends. Like, make sure you've used all your tickets, and so I'll just spin all the wheel spins before, if that's the case. Yeah, but we've still got 17 days until the Bundesliga stuff comes, so the wheel will last until at least here and a week, I would say, to allow the time for people that have bought Bundesliga cards to like play the wheel as well. So we'll be good. We'll be good. Right, guys, I'm gonna have to go for today. But as always, I appreciate most of you. Not all of you. Some of you are dickheads. You know who you are. And if you're thinking, man, he's talking about me, then yes, I probably am. But I will be back again tomorrow to continue this project. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.